Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We have quite a few things to talk about today, some big news. But first I want to go through some Instagram posts, some Reddit stuff, the usual. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I've been seeing this guy a lot. He kind of scares me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Me before bloating. I don't know what any of this stuff means. His ratings, I guess. He's just horrifying. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Like, I get it, man. Like, we all want to look beautiful. But to what end? Do the ends justify the means? But I'm pretty sure all of his posts are just like that. Or does he just do regular stuff too? Showing his jaw strength. It's a real man right there. Oh, hello, Beppis. There's a Teddy Fresh drop? Ooh, let me check it out. Thank you, sad machine. Oh no, I clicked away too fast. Thank you, sad machine 84. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain. Oh, I didn't realize I pulled that up. That's funny. Oopsie doozy. But yes, new Teddy Fresh drop. Is it all this swimwear? Pretty nice. Ooh, I like this. I'm glad we're going back to like the 2000s wave. That like it's like poser metal, you know what I mean? Skateboard, nice. Truly amazing stuff. I need some new swim trunks. But let's go back. Oh yeah, this was Ethan's story. I've been saying this for a while, and I think it's just true. Hassan needs to debate Lonerbox. Lonerbox said, for someone who constantly complains about being taken out of context, Hassan's only means of engaging with me is through snark posts and Twitter clips, at Hassan the Hun. As soon as you get bored of having people holding your hand, you're more than welcome to talk. Debate Lonerbox, coward. Coward! But I just think that's true. If he wants to debate like the substantive stuff, if you want to be like, let's argue Israel Palestine, or let's argue Pakistan India, if you want to do that too, the other IVP, I'd say do that with Lonerbox, because Ethan might not be the guy for that. But Ethan, and on the H3 show in general, I feel like they like to show different Instagram musicians, but I'm a real appreciator of appreciation. I like people with niches, with their own little hobbies, hobbyists, that type of stuff. And this is a guy who just invents different juggling tricks, and I find this kind of insane. I would die for you too, Argo. Oh yeah, shipping to EU too. Ooh. No, yeah. The price is the one thing where I'm like, I know it's quality stuff, but I preferred when it was in Zoomies and I could just buy it outright. Having to pay for shipping and handling is gonna be the death of me. But here's a juggling trick that he invented.
Here's another juggling trick that I invented. It's a 5-ball trick that involves me throwing 3 balls at the same time, cross-catching the 2 on the bottom, and then the top one falls onto my foot, and kicking up the final ball.
And this guy literally this is what he does. He's a juggler. I want to see more of his creative
This
ones,
might
'cause those
be
are
the
best.
coolest juggling trick I've ever created. It all happened one night in 2020, when earlier that day I had gone to a Goodwill and saw this electric mixer thinking, yeah, I'm a juggler, I can do something cool with this. And then I brought it home, and I realized that it can suck things into it. Now, using
This guy's just a genius.
Here's another juggling trick that I created. It's a 3-ball trick where I catch one of the balls in this weird under the leg same side catch, but I also continue the motion with the ball and swoop it back around my foot.
I don't get it. But yeah, go if you are into juggling, go check out Zach M. Callister Brain Rot. He just got engaged. What a guy. Me too. This is Wheels. I haven't seen any of this guy's other posts. I've just seen this post about 3 or 4 times. No, yeah, coordination is I think where most people fall, like both metaphorically and literally. Like you can be super into something, super invested, but like skill really will always be the bottleneck. But this guy doesn't even need legs, so. But I guess this clip isn't the best representation of his skill, so. Goes both ways. I just have the sound off because there's music. I was really expecting him to land the second one, but he just... And that's the whole clip, is just him eating shit. No, yeah, man. I think you could... He said this rail is going in the dumpster once I land this. I think it's fair to say that this rail isn't safe. Because, like, how much speed does he need? He needs someone, like, pulling him by a car. But now we have another actual musician. The classics.
Old house was filled with insects, but in the new house we light up incense. I can't live my life in debt, so I make my interest. Oh, I give and I get shot, it gives and she gets. Girl, let me be your source. She chills through pores. Back then, I wish I knew more. Getting out of cuffs indoors. My old house was filled with insects, but in the new house we...
Has this guy made any new stuff? How does he only have Wait, what?
My old house was...
I know this isn't like super... But for 9,000 likes on that, you would expect it to have at least a little bit more.
You are well, mom. Not it down. Yeah. What? Yeah, we getting paid. We getting money. We getting money. Yeah, we getting paid. We getting money. We getting money. Just got me a new contract. Best know I'ma fulfill that. Link up all my contacts, call it. Everybody will get money in the morning.
I'm perplexed.
Iced out, locked in. Right now, I'm in. Iced out, locked in. Right. Iced out, locked in.
Yeah, like this one has
My
200,000.
old house was filled with insects, but...
How does this have... I guess because it only has 8,000 likes. 200,000 views, but only 300 followers is insane to me. I don't understand how that's possible. Hey, get that money, you know what I mean? He's got to be in his bag. This, I think he might be a teenager. I don't know for sure, but I try not to criticize him too much. He just needs to work on it. You know, the heart's there, but he should probably, like, show this to somebody before posting it online, because the comments are not responding well. Well, this person wants him at their wedding. He might get his first gig. So it says, I had an original idea about a special person that takes you away from all your problems. So I wrote this. Chocolate cake all day.
Yeah, you won't like to win, so help blow me away. My brain's an environment, let's flow. You won't like to win on a hot summer day. You make everything right, so effortlessly.
It almost sounds like he's trying to do a cover of somebody else's song. But he can get there eventually. I also don't think he has an actual band. Or maybe he does. I just haven't seen any videos of him with an actual band. It's always just him singing on the beach or...
Do your worst.
My impression was cold. I didn't know what to say. That needed you. But I couldn't let my walk. So please I'm glad that I would. When you hear me say that you're just about somebody.
Do your worst.
Fair. I guess he is safe behind the camera, but... I mean, is he? He leaves the comments open, and they are not friendly.
Yeah, you would like to win. Help blow me away. My present environment.
You know bro vibes to this song when he's driving down the road. As he should. You have to be your #1 biggest fan. Oh, a love song?
But you're just too gorgeous every which way. But baby, I can't shoot my shot. But my tongue of mud is disarrayed. And the words they fall out like wakalay.
Okay, I'm actually going to say that one wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, obviously, but compared to the others, what the fuck? I didn't even notice this on the side. How do GIFs get made on Instagram? But that one was probably the best out of what he had, so give it like a 6 out of 10. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. Oh, and then this guy's just rapping about pizza. I thought this was interesting.
Pizza, 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 pizza.
Pizza, 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 with the pizza. You know what I'ma eat. That's that Little Caesars, 2-liter Pepsi, with the Caesar wings. Don't forget the breadstick.
Pizza, pizza.
I'd go bump this if I were you. Lil Lucky and DJ Gon G, Little Caesars Pizza. Hey man, you better watch out. They might come for the title. Can't use that name. They might ask for a slice. Get it? This was the real reason I wanted to show some Instagram posts, because this, I genuinely was besides myself. For anyone who saw this TMZ article, here's the truth. I did not see the TMZ article. I did not know about this. Apparently, Theo Von got in a little altercation with this guy.
Hey, I'm the fan who got choked out by Theo Von. Let me tell you what actually happened. So I'm not just a random fan. I live in Nashville. I play music full time. That's me. All of this happened on May 2nd.
So first things first, I don't mean to critique this guy and be like, oh, just because... But literally, just because you're a musician, it doesn't mean you're not just a random fan. You are not a celebrity. You are a micro-influencer. So, like, dude, you have 4,000 followers. That's more than me, don't get me wrong. But I also wouldn't be like, I get it, Theo Von might not have known who I was, but I'm not just some fan. I'm actually a internet commentator. So, but we'll continue.
You can see right there.
Yep.
Which also happened to be my birthday. I had my gig from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. My friends brought me cake. They brought me balloons. The bar brought me sparklers. So when Theo walked...
And drinks, which he doesn't bring up for some reason, but he shows on screen. So we know that he has been drinking for I'm not going to say that he was drunk, but we know that he at least had some drinks in his system, so, you know, a little bit more flowy, I imagine.
Walked in, he didn't have any security with him, so people were walking up to him, talking to him, taking photos.
Ah, thank you, Alex of Fiction. Welcome to Quasar's Cadets.
I finished my show. This was like 10:18. Nobody in my party had talked to him yet, not even me. We thought it would be a funny video idea to get him and me popping my birthday balloons together because he's a comedian.
That part confused me. We wanted to get like we thought it'd be funny to get a video of him popping balloons with us because he's a comedian. Why would that mean it'd be funny to pop balloons? You just wanted to get him part of your birthday celebration. Come on. I don't mean to be so aggressive towards this guy. I know he's just telling his side of the story. But I'm sorry. There's just like a level of like, there's an air of arrogance, I feel. And it kind of bothers me a little bit.
Trying to be courteous because he was talking to somebody at the moment. So in this next video, you can actually hear me say, I don't want to interrupt their conversation. I was waiting my turn.
I feel like him and his group are drunk. The way that she just tried to start kissing him before he was done talking. At least she's drunk, but I feel like that means they've been having some drinks. But yeah, he's trying to be courteous. Theo's dealing with another fan.
To talk to him, everybody was all just standing around having fun, having a good time. Nobody was bothering anybody. I mean, I'll show you the full video. That's the guy I was waiting for, who I didn't want to interrupt.
So literally, as the guy is walking away, this dude walks up with the balloons in hand.
This is where the video that you've seen starts. I went up and I said, will you pop some balloons with me?
Weird first thing to say. Not even, hey man, it's my birthday. Do you think I could get a video with you? First. And then you'd go, well, I was wondering if maybe you could pop these balloons with me. I don't really want to take them with, you know? But to just go up and go, hey man, will you pop some balloons with me? I gotta say, what Theo does next, I don't blame him.
Turned away and looked like I said something offensive. I leaned in and said, hey man, I'm a fan, I'm just messing with you. He turned back around and then aggressively got in my face right there.
So he put his hand, so Theo turns around. Anybody that's an adult knows somebody turning their back to you is usually a cue to go, oh damn. Even if you feel like you were just slighted, you go, oh damn, this person was a dick. What the hell? And then you walk away. He went, grabbed Theo's shoulder, didn't grab him, but he at least put his hand on his shoulder and went, hey man. And so I don't blame Theo for getting in his face at this point. I don't know what they said. What does he say?
I was confused, so you can see me lean in and say, what?
Okay. So you grabbed Theo's shoulder. He turned around angry, aggressive a little bit, probably said something along the lines of like, hey man, I'm not trying to deal with this right now. Whatever. Leave me alone. And then this guy goes, what? What? So I could say...
And that's when he grabbed my throat and shoved me back.
He grabbed his throat. He did. He grabbed him by the neck and pushed him. Good old Southern boys tactic, I will say. Little aggressive. But you were all like in his space, let's be honest. With a bunch of balloons, I would feel crowded in the space that Theo was just at. So I'm not going to act like Theo's a saint, but I could tell it was the Southern boy in him coming out.
What happened was a completely uncalled for reaction.
What happened feels like a complete miscommunication, not him like overreacting.
Especially when you consider the facts that nobody in my party had been badgering him for hours. We hadn't even talked to him.
But other people have. He doesn't know what parties are together. All he sees is just the crowd. And then people, again, one after another. That guy was walking away as this dude walks up with the balloons. So I'd be kind of pissed off too. Like, hey man, I'm done.
This was a 14-second interaction and that was it. As an entertainer in downtown Nashville, I get being overwhelmed by crowds and people coming up to you all the time.
I'm sure you do.
At the end of my shift, at least I get to unplug and go home. And, I feel for Theo where he probably can't get away from that a lot more easily than I can. And post-surgery, I was 1 week back from recovery. This could have ended my career, but luckily there was no damage to my vocal cords or neck. I'm not trying to get any sympathy or anything out of this. I just want people to know that, the celebrities that you see on...
That was the part that really got me. I'm not trying to get sympathy or anything, but like it could have messed up my vocal cords for life, and I couldn't sing maybe I couldn't sing anymore ever again. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Camera can be completely different people in real life. You don't know. Thank you for listening to the truth.
So that was his side of the story. What do we think? What do we think about this side here? I'm looking at these links that got sent to me.
Okay.
Oh, a corner. Italy Bink. Hi, I'm Mitchell Davis, and someone told me that it's your birthday today. Now, I'm not gonna say who it was. We're gonna keep that on the DL, the down low. But I'm excited. So are you! Because it's your birthday. I'm excited. I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Cake and presents,
Thanks.
cake and presents, cake and presents, cake and presents, cake and presents, cake and presents. Why, it's your birthday, and I'm excited to be here. This little number goes out to you, you little birthday Cub Scout. It's your birthday, baby. I love the way you move. Wait a second, can I get the mustache? Oh yeah, that looks way better. What if I eat this fake mustache for your birthday? Would you be impressed then? Wait a second. When are we eating the cake? Idea. Birthday picture. It's on the timer, I forgot. Just wait like a few more seconds. Oh, I stole that one. You look so cute. Wow, I'm already...
Okay, I'm going to stop it here. He went on for way too long for this bit. This was before YouTube Shorts, though, so I guess I understand. He was like, we got to get that time up. How does he...
Reminiscing. Happy birthday,
I am going to keep watching for a second.
Kanye West sent me these for your birthday. Oh my god, what was I thinking? Ooh, I have a translator. I'm going to look up how to say happy birthday in another language. Ooh, is that a 4? Holy f***. Happy birthday in Chinese! I've spotted the person with a birthday. Yo, yo, yiggity. Bonjour, bonne fête.
Oh, I pulled up another one by accident. Oh, he changed shirts. Here's another one that's a little bit shorter. Thank you, Tiffany.
Bonjour, bonne fête des ballons, avec des petits qui ont fait que le bonne garde, oui, là, we can have a cruise, making all that, fête, you've got a man out of water, got it in the bonne fête, pretty doodly, by the bonne fête, we found the fucking down the boot, with the bonne fête, by the bonne fête, fucking down the water, by the bonne fête.
Merci, bye.
I've never seen that before, but thank you very much. Thank you, Maple Nia. But now that we've been through that, there is one more thing that I wanted to look at. So YouTube has launched, see here, launching YouTube charts for top US podcasts. Chart your way to the top of YouTube's new weekly podcast show chart. Today, we're announcing a US-based weekly chart to showcase the most popular podcasts on YouTube. On charts.youtube.com/podcast, you can check out YouTube's top 100 podcast shows in the US to see where your favorite podcasts rank, or which podcasts you're really missing out on. Podcasts on YouTube have more than 1 billion monthly active viewers, and according to Edison, YouTube is the most frequently used service for listening to podcasts in the US. Our weekly top podcast shows chart recognizes the and celebrates top podcasters who are redefining the next era of entertainment with engaging, influential, culture-defining shows across a variety of genres like news, sports, comedy, and true crime. Every Wednesday, the weekly top podcast shows chart is updated with podcast shows ranked by watch time. Generally, charts will include playlists that are designated as podcasts by the creator in the upload process, and will not include playlists that contain only clips or shorts. Continue to eye continue to keep an eye and ear out for more updates. We're building out more features and expanding podcast charts to additional regions. And don't forget that youtube.com/podcast is home to even more podcasts to enjoy. And if we take a little look-see, the weekly top podcast shows. We got Joe Rogan at the top. Not surprising, but here down at number 6, the H3 podcast. Amazing stuff. We need to hit the top 5, guys. Send it to your mom, to your grandma. Put it on your grandma's TV and put it real quiet so she doesn't know it's there. Come on, guys. And again, Ian and Anissa said that this is not what podcasting is for. But I don't see their podcast up here. Just saying. You can't really... If Joe Rogan said that, okay. He's kind of got you beat. But what happens if I click it? It just takes me? Takes me to see... Oh, and it's just from season 5. And that's the episode we have today. Are we getting more... We're gonna get more slop drama. We're not getting the heavy stuff. Cool, you guys can get the heavy stuff from me today because we're gonna look at it. But I'm genuinely like, I'm so glad we're back to some bozo content, talking about the bozos online. Austin McBroom exposed Catherine McBroom. H3 show number 148. I actually haven't heard of Rotten Mango. What podcast is that? Let me look it up. Rotten Mango. I spelled it wrong like 4 or 5 times. Oh, is it a true crime one? She's got that thumbnail game on point, I will say that. But yeah, great stuff. But we'll get into... Okay. We got a juicer plan today. Oh, Maple Nia, there she is. But we got a juicer plan today. Amazing. We're in for a doozy. Wadap. Oh, okay. What up? I was so confused. That should be a U. But let's get into this shit. We have the 2 important things, I guess. Important, quote unquote. True crime related. I said trime. Amazing. But yeah, I watch true crime, but I guess I watch more like niche ones. I watch like accounts that have like 20K views a video. But yeah, so this is a video by Internet Versus, and this is Internet Versus Denims GoFundMe retraction.
Denims has put out a statement retracting the GoFundMe for the legal notice of defamation that she sent to Ethan Klein. In her statement, she claims she would rather not handle the whole situation via crowdfunding, instead wishing to pursue it with her own money. Along with this, saying that she had to send the notice because the law requires you to send one within 20 days of a defamatory statement happening, and that she is still considering suing Ethan Klein despite this GoFundMe retraction. Ethan even responded to this as well, continuing to stand his ground, saying that Denims has no case. And even the Leftovers H3 subreddit was disappointed in Denims, criticizing her for this move, saying that she should not have gotten into something that she wasn't ready to commit to. Welcome to the Internet Versus Denims GoFundMe retraction. It starts when Denims tweets out,
I'm sorry, I'm like paying attention to this while I'm reading chat. I'm sorry, I'm stealing that idea. I'm going to create the first faux crime podcast. It's a podcast where we dress it up like we're talking about true crime things, but they're all made up. Everything is fake. Everything is like a made up. We have like, oh my God, this is a beautiful, that's such a good idea. You're not taking that. I'm taking that. I'm stealing your ideas.
a screenshot of the
Right,
internet
right.
versus
Sorry.
Denims GoFundMe retraction. It starts when Denims tweets out a screenshot of the GoFundMe and says, 1 week, 1,692 donations, and $46,000 later, I am refunding the GoFundMe. If/when I go forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. Thank you everyone for proving Ethan wrong. His behavior is unacceptable, and people do care. Proceeding with a defamation suit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. His suit with Kavanaugh started almost 4 years ago and is still ongoing. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish, and I feel like I've let down those who have donated. With that in mind, if this is a journey I wish to undertake, I'll be doing it with my own funds. I'll be keeping all of you posted if anything happens while the statute of limitation runs for the next year. And
Since she has a year, are we just assuming that she's hoping it'll all die down by then? She's like, by then I'll either have become a millionaire or I'll have completely fallen off. So either way, I won't. It doesn't really matter.
I'll be elaborating on stream Friday. I appreciate all of you for the support. It means more than you know. Why issue a legal retraction?
She's gonna let us know today. She's gonna give us the full deets. She's gonna say, I'm just gonna do it later.
Letter and crowdfund if you weren't serious about your legal threat. I was and am. If CCC 48A applies, you must issue a retraction letter within 20 days of the defamatory statement before you can pursue a lawsuit.
I have not seen the Rob's Media video about Anise, so if we have time,
This is why Ethan was so prompt in his letter to Noah, but has yet to file a suit, if he ever actually planned on doing so. I changed my mind about crowdfunding because I realized that I didn't like the money-grubbing narrative. Normally this wouldn't be an issue because I could just be transparent.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have the time for the full thing. Maybe I'll watch that on like the weekend or something.
With how the money was spent, but over the lengths of time that a lawsuit would span, it isn't realistic. And just doing my best isn't enough for an offensive lawsuit. Anyone that's disappointed needs to realize they would have been waiting a very long time for any kind of emotional payout on this anyway, and that it's easier to take my time on this when I'm not being perpetually scrutinized as a scammer. To anyone that doesn't care about the money and just wants to see Ethan take L's, the Kavanaugh suit will end before any potential lawsuit of mine gets off the ground. Not to mention, if he does end up filing something against me, it feels strange to crowdfund for a defamation suit and for a defense at the same time, and mixing the funds feels even stranger. This is the cleanest way to move forward. Froggy Fresh replies with this video in the caption, Denim's lawsuit attempt be like, and it's him sliding down the stairs and falling. Goose Moose says, translation, the law firm I talked with said I don't really have a case. Donkey Chain says, that you're able to just endlessly spin this story to your followers and they lap the slop up so willingly is truly scary. I wish you the best, but I hope you use your powers for good, not evil. Ray replies to Denims by saying, you guys need to get Hassan to do it. At Hassan the Hun is the one with the strongest case, and then you guys could do class action suits and then demand a gag order. Then he'd be forced to move on.
Why don't you just ask Hassan to share some of his wealth and fund the lawsuit? Boom, done. Stop hoarding your wealth, jackass. Show us what socialism's all about and tear down the capitalist. Take him for all he's got and then donate all that money. All your winnings.
Aubrey says, I have so much respect for you and I really do hope that you're able to get the justice you deserve. Your strength is inspiring. Don't let anyone silence you. We have your back. The Twitchy Trek says, I honestly think you should still get hit with a suit since you announced you were going to sue him, which caused the client to be billed hours in preparation for defense. Also, why is this coming?
See, Hassan might have the strongest case purely because everybody else has probably defamed Ethan in some way. So it's like Hassan probably has like a 0 claim, but they all have a negative claim. So it's like he does have the strongest.
Out a couple hours after you get called out for changing your refund policy. And for context on that, Chop Shop posted on the H3H3 production subreddit, new edit and Denim's GoFundMe description, showing that on May 13th that last line is removed that's highlighted in the second picture on May 8th.
Wait, what? Ethan Klein lied about me. Okay, so the first one said, if he retracts, this GoFundMe will be refunded, and then she cut that out. And that was
instead
before
it's
the
changed to
retraction?
say, edit, modify to comply with GoFundMe terms of service. Before it said if he retracts, this GoFundMe will be refunded. Think before you sleep, quote tweets Denims and says, lol. I guess Denims realized that suing someone for defamation when there is a ton of evidence to prove that Ethan did not defame her is probably a really stupid idea. Unfortunate, this lawsuit would have been a great entertainment. Nicholas Tuorio screenshots Denims' post and laughs, and continues by saying, she really tried to. The social experiment has ended, guys, and it was a success, us. Now that you have sent me tens of thousands of dollars, you have proven my original secret goal, and I will be giving it all back. Even after such an embarrassing cell phone, even in the wake of one of the biggest crippling failures I've ever seen, Denims still finds a way to blame Ethan Klein. She is so malicious, it's actually comical. Rob's Media quote tweets Denims and says, maybe you shouldn't have hidden evidence from the public? Just a thought.
And it's little things like this where it's like, do you not realize that it just makes you look bad? Even if there's nothing there and it was like, oh, I just deleted it for some other reason, it just makes you look bad. Just be as open as possible. But I guess Ian thinks that's a bad idea too. He doesn't think you should be open.
Showing a screenshot highlighting a deleted stream VOD from Denims. Cheese and Adderall post the statement on the Leftovers H3 subreddit, and Cold Warthog replies, Ethan is going to be insufferable, an agreeable nerve says, and there will be no mention of the fact that he did the exact same thing with the Noah Samsen lawsuit, except didn't have the decency to announce that he's no longer pursuing it, so instead it's just another thing that will never be mentioned again. Expensive Estate replies, man, it sucks that Ethan is going to take this as a
I'm confused by that part. What's the... Is this claim coming from anywhere? Level 100 Giardia Wizard. That's pretty great. Except it didn't have... Wait, what? Like, the fact that he did the exact same thing with the Noah Samsen lawsuit. Wasn't he just... I mean... I'm so confused. He did the same thing when he was waiting for the retraction, but then he did not retract anything after. Well, that's so confusing, but okay.
Will never be mentioned again. Expensive Estate replies, man, it sucks that Ethan is going to take this as a massive W, and Denims is going to be flooded with some heinous shit from H3 fans. Bow to your deity replies,
don't go over to Denims, shit talk her here. It's better.
Genuinely not trying to be mean, but she never should have stated anything related to legal matters against him if she wasn't planning on going through with it 100%, because it's just going to be more fuel Ethan has that she is not credible. Ethan is going to be insufferable and claim that she had no case in the first place, which is clearly not true. And No Resolution replies, yeah, this is really disappointing, and to be honest, I'm just confused.
What is my shirt today? Dragon Ball Z. I don't know why it looks kind of pink. It's definitely just white. Like off color in the color balance. The white balance is all up. But yeah, it's a Shenron. You know what I mean?
I don't really have time to follow everything and just see updates from the subreddit mostly. What led to her making this decision? Is she still pursuing the suit? Why self-funded? And Scary Spooky Hilarious says the way it's worded to me at least, says that she doesn't have the money to cover the rest after the GoFundMe if this was to take 4 to 5 years to litigate. And Zizkill replies, we'll find out on Friday. Agreeable Nerve says, I love Denims, but she probably should have thought about this a little more. If you start something like this against someone like Ethan, you should commit to it. Naturally, it will be a multi-year long affair. Anyone who knows anything about Ethan knew the chance of a retraction was 0. In my opinion, her, Hassan, Ian, Mike, Frogan should all bring defamation lawsuits together and help each other out rather than just her trying to do this.
I find it interesting that all these people just think that you can just... What would be their claims of defamation? You guys are all just like, they all need to like stick together and... Like, what do you... What? I'm so... Like, come on,
Solo
guys.
And Big Cut us.
This level 100 Giardia Poop Wizard. I'm like, so... Why is this like this is a badge they have? Become the Giardia Wizard? Is there a level 50 Giardia Wizard? But I'm just confused as to what, like, I don't think these people understand how lawsuits work at all.
Defamation lawsuits together and help each other out rather than just...
But like, they're not wrong in the beginning here. Like, yeah, you should have committed to it because... And it shouldn't be committing to it because you're trying to go against Ethan. You should commit to it because it's the truth. you shouldn't care how much it's going to cost or how much you're going to spend, because in the end, Ethan's he'll have to pay for it. You make him pay for everything.
Just her trying to do this solo. And Big Kutta says she's not retracting the suit though. She is still pursuing him if he doesn't retract the statements, just in a self-funded manner. And a bitch says she said she may not choose to do that though. Sounds like she isn't going to sue. The Victator then posts a statement on the H3 Production subreddit titling it Denims retracts. Well, that was anticlimactic. And Dark Knight Lighting replies,
were we expecting anything more? I mean, honestly.
I'm 99% certain her representation dropped her after Ethan's lawyer sent them her spoliation of evidence. And Burned Priest says, yep.
That's interesting. I don't know what this means really, but I guess, if anything, it's just saying after Ethan's lawyers responded, they probably were just like, oh shit, we weren't filled in fully. What is spoliation of evidence?
Seems pretty obvious that's what happened, Lamau. Shame there's no way to prove it to shame her to her obnoxious-ass fans. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty decent cell phone. Just waiting to see a bunch of gold medal mental gymnastics to try to somehow convince themselves that this was a win. And Eve replies,
oh. So it's about her deleting the VODs. Spoliation of evidence is like making sure that they're presenting all the evidence that's necessary for the case, but it's talking about her withholding the fact that she deleted a VOD where the main complaint arose from.
She does proceed. Ethan will know right away when the next document comes from a different lawyer. Trying to be better try says, proving Ethan wrong. How does any of this prove anything? Because people donated money? There are people who donated $600,000 to some random white woman who screamed the N-word in some black kid's face. Inugo Comics replies, what's that saying? A fool and his money are easily parted? Appropriate Son says, well, this is incredibly embarrassing for her. Maybe the hype up from the girls trip has worn off. And Jesus replies, I wonder if that's when she planned this. Withheld McFake Name says, I hate to sound conspiracy.
See, I think what's crazier aren't just the hate watchers that watch the podcast, are the hate watchers that watch people like me, subscribe to people like me, watch through my streams, come back to my channel later to comment stuff. It's genuinely so weird how obsessed these people are. Because like I've been saying, I don't think you guys should click on anything that, like, unless you want the actual like opinions that they have, but also I don't think that it's necessary then to engage with them on their channel. Like engaging with somebody on like on their channel isn't going to get you anything but like, you know, messaging from your perceived opposition. Because literally, and all the comments I get are just people going like, yo, I'll pull one up. They're just like, hey, you didn't say anything here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, there's nothing here. And I'm like, you watched the full 2 hours and that's all you got out of it is I just said nothing? And they're like, yeah, this was pointless. What? But they sat through the whole thing. Or they'll tell me that they didn't. And then it's like, why are you commenting at all then? You waited 10 minutes and then went, nah, can't.
Conspiratorial.
This person's completely wrong.
What are the chances she expected somebody like Hassan, the Jomas, or Bad Emma Panda to swoop in and pay a huge chunk of the goal? And Leotro replies, who knows? What was she thinking? She wouldn't have won either way, and I think it would be very hard for her to find a lawyer who would represent her in such a losing case. She wanted the notoriety and the attention. I don't think she was very serious about the whole thing. She thinks this is all one big game. She's not known to be a principled person who takes accountability and her own word very seriously. Ethan himself then posts a statement on his Instagram story responding to it by saying, in other words, her attorney explained to her that she had no chance of winning and would be liable to pay my attorney fees. Unfortunately for you, I don't need anyone's money, and I don't like being threatened by the person harassing me. Or, an even funnier option, her lawyer dropped her when they found out she had erased evidence. It's My Medicine then screenshots this and posts it on the H3 Production subreddit, titling it Ethan Dub Posting. And Creo replies, Denims lawyers, it's opinion, also it's substantially true, also you've misunderstood what he said, also you don't have a reputation to damage, also it's going to cost way more than $45,000. And First Time Texter replies, also you deleted evidence. Foreign Vacation says, Noah Samsen is shaking in his boots right now because he probably realized that when Ethan is serious about a lawsuit, he's serious. This 2x4 skeleton says, so she didn't need the money in the first place. Interesting. And Obli replies, I didn't even notice this, but yikes. Snowbun Bun replies, she wanted to prove people hate Ethan, but like 1,600 donations, okay, okay girl means like a tiny fraction of Snark cared enough to donate, and probably Hassan/Anissa. And
You know what? I didn't even think about that part. That's actually a good point, that it's like a fraction of like all of the actual hate watchers. They're not even willing to like put money up for it. They're like, whatever.
Mother Holly replies, 1 out of 10 snarkers donating to a lawsuit fund against Ethan is very funny. Hideous girl posts in the Leftovers H3 subreddit. Poopy takes a break from making more Hassan videos to gloat about Denims. What happened to the Noah Samsen suit? The Bad Empanada files? And Rocky replies, I hated that she backed out solely because I knew how smug and gross Ethan would be about it. And Bow to Your Deity says, exactly. The harassment is just going to double for her now because...
Well, but even if the harassment does increase for her, it's on her. I mean, honestly, she shouldn't have even talked about the lawsuit until she actually like went through with it and like followed through, or like, you know what I mean? Because I imagine if she didn't bring it up on like and talk about what she was doing, Ethan might have talked about it on the podcast. I'm not going to be like completely like, oh, Ethan would have never talked about it, but I feel like the chance of him talking about it would have been a lot less, and they probably would have dealt with it behind the scenes. But it becoming like a public matter is like, of course she's going to get hate.
Ethan thinks he's untouchable, and Vagina says, yep, bad move on her part. I assumed she understood what she was getting into. It's odd to frame this as a win. The point was making them think twice before hurting creators. Fail, will get worse. Hanlon Razor replies, the way he gloats about money is so tacky and pathetic, but what are you going to do when that's the only thing you have going for you, I guess? And Stankley Kong replies, he used to say that stuff ironically, and now he owns it. Possibility Jolly posts the second Ethan story on H3 Productions that we already read, and I'm the Liquor replies, if she can afford it with her own money, why was she fundraising in the first place? And Suicune says she can't. This is a blatant...
I mean, I guess that's how we know she is lying, yeah. Because like her explanation is just going to be like, I don't want to live in destitution. Of course I can afford it. I could afford it. But the little amount of money that you guys would be helping, I think that realistically, the reason she put up the GoFundMe at all wasn't to even, because she probably can afford it herself. Like if she wanted to go through with a lawsuit, it was, I imagine she was trying to do it as like a, you know, like peacocking, like, you know, puffing your chest out, being like, hey, look at all these people that are willing to stand against you, Ethan. Don't you see what we're willing to do like against you? Because, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because she saw the way that donations go for other stuff. I'm not gonna, you know, we're not gonna assume. We're just making we're just guessing.
I'm trying to save face message after she got humbled. She can't admit publicly that she never had a case because it would make her look stupid and ridiculous, but she also can't continue the lawsuit because she doesn't have a case. So she's trying to make it look like she graciously and selfishly is choosing to go the noble route and use her own money for a future lawsuit, which will never happen. KB replies, Denims, I am demanding Ethan retract statements or I will take him to court for defamation. Ethan, lol, no, I stand by it. Let's go to court. Denims, actually, I don't want to. Guys, I was still...
You're so right that if she just went, yeah, I shouldn't have watched Bad Empanada's video, but I feel like how far you're taking this again. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe she could seem a little bit more, like we could give her a little bit more grace if she handled this with a little more grace. But it really is the fact that, like the fact that she just completely tried to spin it 180 and go, well, no, I'm not harassing you. You're actually defaming me. So, who cares about the CPS shit? You defamed me. Oh no, we're getting a dropout. Sorry guys, we're back.
Right. And Real Fake Jame replies, guys, it's my lawsuit, my choice. And Kyle says, Denims is actually considering suing Ethan, just like how Hassan considered going to Gaza. KK Targren then
That's funny because that is really similar. Denims is actually considering suing Ethan, just like how Hassan considered going to Gaza, and they both didn't end up doing it because they couldn't confidently, you know, confirm that they will be safe. Hassan physically, Denims legally, obviously. No one, if anyone actually did something like to hurt Denims, that person is a psychopath. I just want to say that now. Whenever I see people talking about like, oh, I'm getting harassment, I'm getting this, I want it to be clear that, at least for my sake and anybody that's watching me, I would hope you would all think the same. That if anyone were to actually like go out in public and like even throw a drink on like Hassan even or Denims or Frogan, that's all acting way out of turn, and we can handle things so much better. And like, I don't know, because I do get it that there are people that are like heinous in comment sections, people that say depraved stuff. But Ethan actually got CPS to his house and actually got skulls. So that's kind of like my kids will be kids on the internet. I always just assume that like most of the comments of people saying the crazy stuff are probably between the ages of like 11 and 15.
Is actually considering suing Ethan, just like how Hassan considered going to Gaza. KK Targren then posts the second tweet that we read earlier from Denims on the Leftovers H3 subreddit, and Legitimate Shoe replies, "I'll manage a way to give her money regardless. I hope others will find a way too." NOP says, support her Twitch, etc. Chloe et al. says, "I appreciate how clear and honest she's been about all of this. She's really stellar." NOP says, "Yep, she's amazing all around in my honest opinion." Denim says she will be making more of a statement on Friday, so subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss that. Shout out to her
The Quazettes. I like it. It's a good one. The Quazerettes. The next thing that came to my mind is to go like religious. The Quazenites.
Tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko and Sal Saud. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you.
Amazing stuff. But yes, we move on.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. But yeah, we'll come up with a good name. If not, we'll just go with Quazettes for now. Whatever you want to choose, that's what name you can use. Go with whatever suits you. That sounds weird. I have a 14-year-old. See, I'm not saying that every 14-year-old, but it's just, you know, the type of people that are in your kid's class. You know what I mean? That's the way I always think about it is, I was a pretty good 14-year-old. I was pretty good when I was a kid. I said some bad stuff, but I also made sure not to do it online because I knew that shit can follow you. So my stuff is just like me and my friends lighting each other on fire and stuff like that's my videos you can find online. But that's different. I'm sorry, but every time I see Noah, he really is, I don't think that he has a punchable face. He just has like such a non-expressive face. How do you have no wrinkles as an adult? Has he never smiled? Has he never frowned? He's never furrowed his brow? It's kind of crazy. His shirt looks weird. It looks like an undershirt. It looks like a thermal. Quasimodos. I like that one. We might go with the Quasimodos. Okay, let's get into it. He is bland. He is milquetoast. He doesn't have any expression in the video. Okay, I'm gonna be monitoring it this whole time. If I see him smile, crack, if I see him, squint a little bit, I'm gonna be concerned if I don't see a single emotion come out of him. But okay, let's get it started. I'm waiting too long. I just kind of don't want to watch it, not gonna lie.
Hey everyone, it's me, Noah, longtime
Hey
no see.
everyone.
Today I'm going to talk about being sued, or being threatened with a lawsuit at least. I haven't actually been sued yet. Ethan Klein and Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers have said that they plan on suing me for defamation. They're doing this in response to a video I posted in March called The YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide. I brought up these legal threats in another video of mine, but they decided to escalate things by paying a lawyer to write a cease and desist, which they sent to me in late March, and in it they ordered me.
He does have a grazing animal face. He looks like a sheep. Like he looks like a sheep, like a human version of a sheep.
To retract my video within 3 weeks or get my little ass sued, Ethan Klein went on to read the cease and desist on his live stream and repeat this threat over and over again on subsequent episodes.
He started his second video by saying, Ethan's threatened to sue me. It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
Oh.
Wait. I'm literally going to sue you for defamation.
Uh-oh.
Noah said in his second video, Ethan's threatening to sue me. Have fun with that, I guess. He said, well, I'm about to have fun with it. And unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be having much fun with it.
He didn't respond to my video by his own admission. He just read what his lawyer wrote for him and then said that his full response would happen in court.
I know he wants me to respond to every point in his video, which I will do in a much more formal setting.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
And I can't wait for you. You know, you can do your cute little videos and all that kinds of business on your YouTube channel. But when it comes to, you know, I'd love to see you reason out in a court document about how I and Mutahar support genocide. I really look forward to that.
Despite all of the threats from these guys, as I said at the outset, I haven't been sued yet. It's been over 3 weeks since the retraction deadline, and as you may see on my channel, the video is still up. Here's a clip of the last time Ethan even mentioned it, which was over 2 weeks ago.
Noah Samsen, he has missed his deadline. Actually, Mutahar is in the chat. What did he say? Did you see that Noah's apparently moving out? Yeah, he's sorry, no video, been moving, etc. Video coming soon. It's amazing how nobody wants to respond to me. Everybody goes cold feet. If you're going to level an attack against me, the least you could do is respond.
God, I love this, man. Why won't you play with me? Why does no one want to play with me? Come on. Ever since the retraction deadline passed,
Why? I mean, that's a fair statement. You said something about him. He responded through, like, legally, which is, you know, probably the furthest that you can go in a response. And you're just going to be like, "What? I have to. What? Why do I need to respond now? What? What?"
the ball has been in Ethan's court. Not responding to a cease and desist is a response on its own, right? According to these people, I'm still actively...
I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, but...
defaming them because my video...
This is also a response, I guess.
...is still public, so it's on them to do something about it. But again, aside from some beautiful bills, my mailbox remains empty. If you're wondering where I've been, there's a few reasons I haven't really been able to post much. I've had some personal things going on. I recently moved. I also got doxxed by a certain community of fans of a certain podcast, which I'll talk about in another video. But one of the things...
Just talk about it here. What do you... I mean, do you have proof of it?
...things that I've been dealing with is preparing for the possibility of being sued. This is all...
Because again, I will say, if anybody's doing that, they're bad, and you should shoot them down and report them. And you know what I mean? If you see something like that on Reddit, report it, because they shouldn't be doxing people.
New to me. I've never been sued, and I've never sued anybody, so I had to spend some time and money learning about defamation law and talking to lawyers and free speech organizations. One thing I was definitely advised was to not post for a little while because, you know, anything said online would very likely be used against me in a potential lawsuit. Now, it is possible that these people might still sue me because rich people can do whatever they want, whenever they want, including sue whoever they want at any time for any reason. But it's worth noting that Ethan has also been a bit preoccupied in recent weeks, going beast mode in some live debates in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
What is...
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
Yeah. I got a free roll.
What is up with these people? Like, I had the same complaint in Ian's content deputy. Why can't you guys fucking pull clips? Nobody can pull clips properly.
Thousands of people.
Why does this look so bad?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
What is...
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
Yeah.
Why does it cut to this all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I got a free Rolex
Cool,
hat
dude.
from a friend of mine. I still wear it every now and then.
Yeah, and you're so... Oh, wow. Who knew? All right, listen, it's 5 o'clock. Like I said, I have a
Is that how it looked on Hassan's stream the whole time? Why? Is Zoom that bad?
family to go to. I have 3 kids and a wife.
You should have just pulled it from the original podcast then.
And I know that you have a fucking cool-ass race car bed to sleep in. And I hope you enjoy that.
Okay, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
And dealing with another very real defamation lawsuit that he's currently losing to a former billionaire, which is a thing that's actually happening right now. He could be on the...
Again, these are just like People love to use weird language. He's not losing the case. I don't even...
car bed.
Dealing with another very real defamation lawsuit that he's currently losing.
Because, yeah, he lost the anti-slap, which means that it's now going to court. I don't know if it's even had its first, like their first appearance.
To a former billionaire, which is a thing that's actually happening right now. He could be on the hook for a lot of money, which is...
Again, could be.
Crazy. So maybe he's just busy and going to get around to it eventually. Personally, though, I don't think they're going to follow through with these threats for a few reasons, but the biggest one is just that they don't have a case.
I just like that, because I don't mean to be like super like, oh, nitpicky about like, oh, see, Ethan's not going, Ethan couldn't lose. There's a possibility that he could lose, but the fact that Noah wants to frame it as, I'm not being sued, I haven't said anything defamatory, but Ethan could have. It's just why it's so like just dumb. I don't know. I don't like when people can't just be like, if he wants to sue, I don't know what claims he would think I need to retract. Maybe that's the point you should make. I don't know what claims he thinks are defamatory, but I'm not going to retract a whole video. So if you can point to specific claims that I made, yada yada yada, but I don't know, this isn't really a response to all that.
I think it's pretty clear that this cease and desist was sent to me with one goal, which was intimidation. It was an attempt to silence my criticism of these creators' genocide, apologia, and participation in baseless smear campaigns against pro-Palestine creators and movements.
All he has to do to avoid getting sued is apologize for everything he said and did, admit he was either lying or ignorant, and erase the video, and also disgrace, like, and just accept the disgrace that is basically lying about two people being pro.
No, yeah, literally. It's just like the deadline is up, and I didn't receive anything in the mail the next day, so I don't think he's actually following through with it. Yeah, his lawyers could be compiling stuff to make sure that the lawsuit is as airtight as possible before sending it out. But the fact that it's him and Mutahar, I don't think that they would both just be like, yeah, let's do this together, yeah, we're going to do this. And then go, we're both going to take a seat back. I feel like both of them would probably end up pushing each other forward on it.
Genocide, which is one of the most twisted, fucked up things you can accuse someone of.
This sort of thing often works because most people just don't have the resources to deal with a lawsuit. In my case, I don't have the resources either, but what I do have is you, an audience of people that have...
Hey man, don't fucking point at me.
Been very vocally supportive of the potential for contributing to a legal fund. I'll be honest though, I would prefer it if they didn't sue me. Not because I think they have a case, nor because I don't think we can raise the money. It's just that I don't feel comfortable fundraising for legal fees right now, given the many better places that money could go, like aid for the people being subjected to this ongoing genocide. Seeing as they haven't sued me yet, that's what we're gonna do.
This ongoing genocide? This video has to do with the lawsuit that Ethan Klein is... I guess if you want to reference it, because that's the thing you're defaming him about, but okay.
That's what this video is for. It's a fundraising video. I started a fundraiser for UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. The donation link is in the description. I'll also be hosting a fundraising live stream with some special guests and some gaming and hanging out and other things of the sort, which will start on Saturday, May 17th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and probably go for a usually stream, but I'm thinking playing some games, maybe set up an air mattress and do a sleeping stream. I've seen that before. It looks fun. I've set the goal at $200,000 because that's what I was actually quoted as being a safe amount to fundraise in order to be able to afford a potential prolonged legal battle against Ethan and Mutahar, which is crazy, right? That's a lot of money, but I was also thinking we could show them that that's a figure we can achieve if we need to, and instead of it going to a lawyer for some bullshit YouTuber lawsuit, it would go to Gaza. If these guys actually do decide to sue me though, in terms of the actual lawsuit, again, I'm not too worried. I told the truth and said what I believed, and I'm prepared to defend it in court should it make it that far. If that does happen, I'll just do another fundraiser, I guess, and then we can donate whatever.
I wouldn't want to do a fundraiser for a stupid YouTuber lawsuit. But I will if I need to. But I will.
We don't use once the case gets dropped. It could be a little or it could be a lot. That all depends on how long these guys want to drag this out. I want to talk a bit more about the case, the cease and desist, and a few other things. But first, we need to do a sponsor break. I got to do sponsors because my videos get demonetized and I don't post that much. Support me on Patreon if you want to stop seeing them. Thank you to Delete Me for sponsoring this video. Delete Me is a data removal service that makes securing your online privacy simple, affordable, and effective. Your personal data is being sold online by data brokers. Anyone can buy them, which means you're potentially at risk of being harassed or even, your emails, phone numbers. So you can also
check it out if you want to use it.
It's obvious online press data with Delete Me, your trusted partner, deleteme.com. Okay, so about that
off.
defamation case, it really seems like none of the people that are supporting or promoting this lawsuit have any clue what defamation actually is. So I want to go over that very briefly.
Calling somebody a supporter of a genocide is a very different thing than saying somebody's career is cooked or saying that somebody fell off or making a video about an internet drama. One of them is a real legitimate thing where people are bad. And the fact is that this is totally different than just a drama slop thing. This is completely different.
For someone to be found liable for defamation, there's a few bars that need to be reached. First, the plaintiff must establish that the allegedly defamatory claim is a statement of fact. Next, that statement of fact must be provably false. It also must have caused demonstrable damages to the plaintiff's finances or reputation. And lastly, the statement has to have been made with actual malice. Actual malice is a legal standard. It's the highest legal standard for defamation claims, and it's only applied to public figures. Basically, it means that the defamatory statements have to be proven to have been made with the existing knowledge that these statements were false. Now, the first hurdle of Ethan and Mutahar's lawsuit threat is establishing that claim 1, that they backed the genocide, evidenced by my video's title and thumbnail, is a provably false statement of fact. They immediately fail here, though, because it's not a statement of fact, it's an opinion. It's the evidenced by my video's title and thumbnail is a proof.
Bro. It is your opinion stated as a fact. You are a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Oh my god. Yes, it is your opinion, but it is stated as a fact, regardless of what. Oh my god. Even regardless of the context within the video, it's the title itself sets a standard. Oh my god. And didn't he add Loanerbox in later? Loanerbox I don't think was in the original one, so that would also be malicious. He maliciously added Loanerbox to try and peg him in with these people for criticizing the video. Bro.
Provably false statement of fact. They immediately fail here, though, because it's not a statement of fact, it's an opinion. It's the conclusion of the arguments and evidence I presented in my video. In defamation cases, when distinguishing between opinion and fact, the broader context of where the statements were made must be considered. In the cease and desist...
Yes, and that statement was made on a title and through a thumbnail image. Again, there is a broader context within the video and your statements made, the claims that you made, but that is a defamatory statement. The YouTubers that backed a genocide with a with a row of YouTubers, come on, man, come on.
The lawyer they paid to write it for them chose.
This was probably the worst angle he could have come at it from.
Chose to ignore this broader context, opting instead to single out one word in the video's title, the word backed, characterize that word using one definition from a single source, and then argue that
Are you going to provide some different kind of... Is this how... Oh my god, is this how Hassan was all I said was that you partnered with the ADL. I didn't say that you were, employed by them. It's actually so dumb.
Solely using the definition they've interpreted it to mean is a statement of fact and also a false one. And not only that, but this falsehood is one that I lied about.
Wow. That's very eloquently put. When you present evidence and use it to make a point, it's not an opinion. It's a synthesis of the available knowledge, i.e., an interpretation of fact. Very true.
Maliciously. When evaluating defamation claims, headlines are not typically treated as statements of fact when the articles themselves explain how this conclusion was reached. That's what my video was for. It was an hour long. I know for a fact that Ethan accused me of defaming him before he'd even watched it, based on the title and the thumbnail alone. If I had to guess, I would say that the decision to threaten a lawsuit came from this knee-jerk reaction to my video's title and thumbnail, and that knee-jerk reaction was never re-examined because it didn't need to be. Ethan has money and time and no one in his life that is willing to challenge him on something like this, especially not his lawyer who he is paying. So whatever he thinks and says is truth. So how do they go about trying to prove this claim of defamation? Well, it's pretty interesting. They actually go with the "no, I didn't" defense. They essentially claim, we couldn't have possibly supported a genocide because elsewhere we have said that we don't. We said that genocide is bad, so we are exempt from any criticism for any other things we may have.
No, they are not exempt from criticism, but they then do not support the genocide. You can still criticize the nature of their perspective without falsifying a claim to exaggerate their perspective.
Have said that do actually support the genocide. For this point, one of the quotes that they cite is Mutahar saying, "I'm not afraid to say that genocide is wrong." Wow, how brave of you, Mutahar. Aside from that being just false, Mutahar stayed silent on Gaza throughout the entirety of the genocide.
So how does that indicate that he supported it?
Until it was time to join his friends on a Hassan bad smear campaign. If that's not fear.
Again, anti-Hamas, not just anti-Hassan.
I don't know what you'd call it other than, I guess, cowardice. But even if it were true, it wouldn't matter. Pointing to...
I don't think you can be the one talking about cowardice, man. Come on. You hid from this response for so long and then said, "I was busy, I had stuff to do." Just say you didn't want to make the fucking video. Like, how hard is that?
Examples of lip service doesn't just cancel out other things you've said. Like if someone says that they killed someone and then later...
Thank you H3 last week. Welcome to Quasar's Cadets.
Says that they didn't. It's not defamation to talk about the first statement without quoting the latter. I didn't think that defense would end up being used by an actual lawyer, but it did, and that's hilarious. Their lawyer's aware of that too, of how unserious this is, as evidenced by his total lack of citations for any case law in this section. This whole claim, the one that's supposed to be the most prominent one, is just blank, and that's because there is no legal precedent for the "no, I didn't" defense. They're just completely going off vibes. The rest of this claim, the one that's supposed to be the most prominent one, is just blank, and that's...
Wait, what?
Time to join his friends on a Hassan bad smear campaign. If that's not fear, I don't know what you'd call it other than, I guess, cowardice. But even if it were true...
Cowardice and fear are like the same thing, but
it wouldn't...
I didn't even notice that when he first said it.
Matter. Pointing to examples of lip service doesn't just cancel out other things you've said. Like
I guess they're not the same. They're not the same. Okay, I'm being too pedantic.
Someone says that they killed someone and then later says that they didn't. It's not defamation to talk about the first statement without quoting the latter. I didn't think...
I think that it might. Because what you're doing is you're omitting knowledge to present an exaggeratory claim, something that isn't wholly true and could be seen as false. Like what?
That defense would end...
Like obviously what would matter then is the levels to which you're doing it, but like
end up being used by an actual lawyer, but it did, and that's hilarious. Their lawyer's aware of that.
like he's... If someone said, "I would never think it's a good thing to say, I want to murder people. And then someone just quoted, I want to murder people, Captain Quasar. And then used the whole thing saying like, this person supports murder and wants to murder. That would be defamatory. Obviously, that's not a one-to-one because what you're saying is they're two completely isolated, independent thoughts. But still, like what I'm saying is just like the omission could be used defamatorily. I don't understand how that was his point.
That too, of how unserious this is, as evidenced by his total lack of citations for any case law in this section. This whole claim, the one that's supposed to be the most prominent one, is just blank.
Oh, so he's just saying that there's no case law, so that means that it doesn't matter? Case law is made by the cases. This could eventually be used as case law. Ethan's first case with defamation is the one that a lot of people can use.
And that's because there is no legal precedent for the no, I didn't defense. They're just completely going off.
I am starting to see the forehead wrinkles. He's starting to really emote.
Off vibes.
He's about to hit some emotes, some Fortnite emotes real quick.
The rest of the cease and desist is just sort of funny to read. A lot of it is them saying, Your Honor, he clip chimped me. Your Honor, he literally didn't even watch the video. They spend like 3 pages attempting to debunk a Bad Empanada video essay because I cited it, which is just sort of awesome. It's been said.
He doesn't understand how any of this works. Yes, if you cited false claims, then if you're citing a claim that they can prove as false, then they just need to prove that you had the knowledge that it was false, but when you cited it, like it's that fucking simple. I don't like. I'm actually
times already by Bad Empanada included, but you can't litigate a historical argument in civil court. That's not what civil court is for, and that's.
I don't want to say it, but I'm starting to believe the Botox rumors too. I'm sorry.
It's not what defamation is. There's one part in the letter where, in an attempt to evidence my malicious intent, their lawyer cites the disparity in the view counts of my videos, accusing me of the legal violation of clout farming. This statement demonstrates that you intended to not just have third parties spread defamatory statements about Ethan, but profit from those defamatory statements. You proved this point yourself when your video entitled Manufacturing Consent for Genocide failed to receive many views, particularly in comparison to the first defamatory video. You made the second defamatory video to further profit from your defamatory statements about Ethan. Your Honor, Noah fell off and tried to climb back to relevance by putting my client's name in his mouth. I encourage people to make videos about Ethan because I think the things he's saying are harmful.
I like that he's trying to like negate from the claims by just completely bastardizing them, turning them into like nothing and just being like, oh, he's just complaining, being like, you didn't even watch the videos. Your Honor, he's clip chimping me. He's making fun of me. Like, bro, that's like you said, there's a whole document that you're basically just glossing over.
He's spreading pro-Israel propaganda talking points during Israel's active genocide.
Again, you cited a video that they were able to, somehow prove as false. Show us how that was wrong and how you were actually right. Don't just go, but you still supported a genocide. You can show me all the evidence you want. You still did.
Genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. And so far, that's been happening. People are making videos and more people are being exposed to the arguments against these ideas that I think are harmful. Their assumption here, though, that these videos could only have been made for nefarious, self-interested aims, that's just pure projection, I think. For these guys, everything is about views and internet fame. You know, everyone...
See, he might be high all the time. But I'm high all the time. I know I sound dumb all the time. But I'm not going to speak this confidently. I think that's the main issue.
is cynical and self-interested, and no one actually believes the things that they say insofar as those beliefs are able to get eyes on their content. There's no way you could be criticizing someone based on any sort of genuine political motive. No, you must just be wanting to jump in on the dog pile, to cash in and grow an audience of snarkers that are there not because they're against genocidal propaganda, but simply because they don't like you. For no reason, even when you're being a perfect little angel.
They literally put fucking command centers under hospitals. There was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 900,000 Jews were forced to choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to fucking Arabs.
Let's go back. We'll watch each one of these again. Which one of these is in support of what Israel is doing in the West Bank and Gaza currently?
Literally put fucking command centers under hospitals. There was more.
That is that is him again, once again, saying what Hamas does is bad because they don't even have the wherewithal to move their their military infrastructure away from civilians to protect them. That is not in support of them carpet bombing, the Israeli military carpet bombing, whole streets. But it's just saying that, Hamas isn't doing their due diligence as well.
Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba.
And that is just again, I think you could maybe, I don't even know if that's arguable, but if you want to contest it, I mean, show the
100,000 Jews were forced
data.
Choice, but because they were forced out. The vast majority went to fucking Arabs.
Maybe it's just because they're anti-Semitic. That's probably it. They're probably all anti-Semitic. Anyone that doesn't like me.
And again, that last clip, Ethan's explained it. And even he's not saying all fucking Arabs. He's saying the Arabs. He was using it as a means of exclamation rather than a harsh term. Rather than for
is anti-Semitic. Ethan, through his lawyer.
But again, I mean, you were saying he was making fun of Ethan by saying, Your Honor, all he did was clip chimp me, and then proceeds to show 3 clips really out of context. But okay.
Describes all of that to me because that's who he is. But, not everyone is like that. Some people just don't like it when you use genocidal talking points because they don't like genocide. And for them, that's a good enough reason on its own to make a...
Again, they're talking points that could be... here's the thing. You can even say they're talking points that could be used by someone in an attempt to support the genocide. But they are still independent claims. You can support Israel's right to exist as a nation without saying that it has the right to exist as it does right now with the things that it's doing currently. Even Hassan in the debate goes, does Israel have a right to exist? Not like it does right now. So it's even he understands that the full destruction of Israel doesn't make any sense for anybody. The whole thing is about uplifting the Palestinian community out of this oppressive, impoverished state and reform the Israeli government. Come on.
YouTube video. What I also like about this one is that...
But I guess that's just me spreading Israel propaganda and supporting a genocide.
To argue that I'm self-interested, they cite a video I made knowing full well that it would get shadow banned and demonetized, which it did. If I just wanted views and money, I would not have made that video. To be frank, the reason I made that video was on a pretty simple, basic principle, which is being against genocide. And that principle manifests itself in me wanting more people to know about how the media is normalizing this genocide. That same principle is why I made the videos about these guys. It just so happens that when YouTubers are in the thumbnail, more people click on the video. Ethan is aware of this phenomenon, obviously. He's used it for me and many others. It is unfortunate that more people care about what their favorite e-celebs have to say about each other than an active genocide, but that's the frame of reality we're working within on the internet. And I don't know, I think people are doing what they can to try to change that, or at least use it for positive.
No, yeah, just calling it Israeli propaganda or just calling them talking points is a way to dismiss from the actual conversation. Like, any actual nuance that Ethan has, they need to dismiss it wholly as just like propaganda or talking points, because it's the easiest way to deflect from the fact that he doesn't actually support what's going on and has just a more nuanced perspective on like just on the whole situation. Because yeah, I don't think that Ethan's smart enough to give you a solution, but he at least understands that Israel isn't going to stop with the way that Hamas like acts right now. Is that good? No. But like Ethan said, and that people got like, you know, so worked up about, it's inevitable. And inevitability isn't like, you know, to say something is inevitable isn't to say that it's good, but it's just to say that if we don't change the way things are happening, it's going to continue. And we could say that on both sides. If Israel continues doing what they're doing, you know, Hamas might not stop. And I say might not because eventually they would all be dead. So that's when things would eventually stop, but nobody wants that.
Positive goals, like getting more people to learn about the genocide. And to an extent, for some people, this seemed to work. You know, I got a lot of comments saying they hadn't heard about what's happening in Gaza or about...
Okay, then your fans are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. Like, what? Do they not listen to any media?
How bad things actually were until that video was recommended to them. And for most people, the only reason it was recommended to them is because I framed it around what some guys on the internet think about it. That was what I'd hoped would happen. Believe me or don't, it doesn't matter. What matters is that factually, some people learned about the genocide and they wouldn't have learned about it if I hadn't used these creators as examples. And the same is true for creators like Bad Empanada or Overzealots or Chris Kunzler and more, and anyone else that wants to join in and use the algorithm for...
But then you have to understand that what you're doing is not actually fucking, like, you're doing propaganda. That's what you're fucking doing. And you're literally admitting it, saying that, oh, it's okay because it's getting more eyes on it. Like, what the fuck is the, like, what?
Good. And they certainly...
He's basically admitting, yeah, I did do it for clicks. Yeah, we did do it for clicks because we thought it would get more views. We thought it'd be sensational. Like, dude...
wouldn't have learned about the genocide from any of these creators themselves, because despite their claims to caring about it,
I've been a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause for many years.
None of them ever talk about it at all, aside from when they're, you know, basically smearing its opponents and running cover for the country that's...
When are we getting the birthday cake? I don't know. We need to figure that out.
Committing it.
They literally put...
Gotta order it still, I'm sorry.
Command centers under hospitals.
Outside of that, silence. As an aside, I think it's still open to debate as to whether or not this tactic is worth it. Like, is it worth the trade-off to get this information in front of more people when the conversation can so quickly turn?
That's a good point too. Yeah, educating them on your opinion. All he's do, like, is it an opinion or is it you trying to teach something? No, yeah, it's, yeah, people thinking that they can change the world is insane. Ah, Robbie Turtle, welcome to the inner circle. Thank you so much. It is a happy birthday indeed. How old am I? I turn 24 today. A young old man, you know what I mean? We're getting there, we're going up. I'll be 30 in no time.
From the issues and into creator drama. In this latest chapter, I don't think it was. Granted, I didn't really expect that these people would be petty enough or dumb enough to actually sue me or threaten to, but I probably should have, so that's on me. That debate, though, is open only to people that actually care about and talk about the genocide. Not you, or you, or you, or any of your freak show fan bases. As far as that first group of people goes, the people whose input I care about, they have been mostly supportive of these efforts. Do whatever you can to get the word out to as many people as possible. That's the feedback I've been getting, so that's what I've been trying to do. But again, that might not always be the case, and that is subject to change. Aside from the cease and desist being, you know, a joke, the other main reason I'm down to clown in court is because Ethan keeps proving my point over and over again. Like, every day that passes and every time he opens his mouth on his show, he continually proves that my...
Don't worry, you're not old. You're just fully blossomed. That's the way to look at it.
Allegedly defamatory...
So that you don't get sad.
claim that he is backing a genocide is actually very correct. In the very stream he was supposed to be disproving the assertion that he supports genocide, he brought out the most explicit IDF talking points he'd used to date.
I feel like this is a force that's going to help end the war, not fucking keeping hostages and underground and like sending, just continuing to provoke Israel to attack them. And putting fucking like military complexes under hospitals. They literally put fucking command centers under hospitals.
The talking point
again, is this in support of what Israel does in response? He's showing nothing that is showing the actual like any support, any type of justification, I guess you could say maybe it's not even a justification. It's just showing that like how one thing, it's a cause and effect.
He's using there, that Hamas builds command and control centers under hospitals, has been Israel's primary justification for the systematic destruction of Gaza's healthcare infrastructure for over 19 months now. That talking point is a justification for one of the key elements of Israel's approach to genocide. It's genocidal propaganda. There's no other way to put it. He is sharing genocidal propaganda to millions of people. A few episodes later, Ethan and his wife Hila downplayed Israel's mass targeted assassinations of journalists by claiming that the idea.
It's just so funny that whenever people want to show clips of Ethan, they just do the greatest hits. They literally just show like the most simplistic, like lacking of nuance clips that they can find on Reddit. And every single channel does that. And then they complain that Ethan just takes stuff out of context and doesn't listen to the actual nuance that they're making. I just don't get it.
IDF doesn't do that.
It's not like Israel
that is worried
Look,
about.
it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hassan. They don't fucking.
Yeah,
but it is dangerous. It's a war zone. Like I agree, it's dangerous.
They might. It's a war zone. They might. I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
They're not.
Yes, they do. They do that more than anyone ever, actually. It's the last possible group of people on
dangerous. It's a war zone. Like I agree, it's dangerous.
They might. It's a war zone.
Look,
of journalists by claiming that the IDF doesn't do that.
It's not like
Israel that is worried
Look,
about.
it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hassan. They don't fucking.
Yeah,
but it is dangerous. It's a war zone. Like I agree, it's dangerous.
They might. It's a war zone. They might. I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
They're not.
Yes, they do. They do that more than anyone ever, actually. It's the last possible group of people on Earth that you could claim doesn't intentionally target journalists. This is just...
I mean, we'd have to break it down, but I would find it somewhat hard to believe that their intention was to purely kill journalists and not that journalists would just be in these centers where there's going to be military infrastructure that will get bombed. Like, again, I don't think it's good that it's happening, but I think the point that Ethan was trying to make, again, is that Hassan wanted to go to Gaza, then was like, oh, I can't get security clearances. That should have been in his mind when he first wanted to go. He should have known that he's not going to get security clearances. They're in the middle of the war. Like what?
Just pure misinformation that is used to run cover for Israel as it commits a genocide, a major factor of which is limiting people's exposure to the atrocities they are committing. And the most direct way they can do that is by assassinating.
Yeah, and obviously, I agree. Ethan is saying that they don't care about Hassan specifically, and what they're trying to argue is that they care about journalists, and that they're going to kill journalists so to stop what's like any information coming from the inside.
Journalists over and over and over and over again. A couple weeks ago, in a debate with Sam Cedar, Ethan continued to expose himself as a propagandist for Israel's genocide. He repeatedly blamed Palestinian resistance for Israel's genocidal actions in Gaza.
They could have done that. They could have ended it after a week.
I mean, Hamas could have ended the war anytime too.
How could have Hamas ended the war?
By releasing the hostages?
No, listen. Israel has said time.
To be fair, it's a very simplistic view that Ethan's giving here, but it's to Sam Cedar's also simplistic view, where the idea is if one side sets down their guns, the other side will go, oh, they're not attacking us anymore. I guess we'll stop too. it's a very simplistic view, and obviously if Israel stopped, there's still going to be extremist, jihadists that come in and want to kill Israelis and want to kill the civilians. That's still going to happen. If Hamas drops all their guns, no more, strikes, no more military, anything coming from Hamas, that doesn't stop the occupation that's happening. So both of those, neither one of those is actually going to help in any way, like materially. They might help momentarily, but you'd see within a week that everything's gone, if not back to shit, farther than.
And time again, that the release of the hostages is not going to end their assault on Gaza. They have said this over.
I don't believe that's.
I guess I didn't even think about that. That is, if that's just all journalists in the totality of of the war, and not just deaths by Israel, because it does just say Gaza war.
Over.
Interesting.
And over.
I haven't seen those statements. I've seen the opposite.
At any time, they could have done that.
Well, what has Hamas done to end the war?
Hamas offered
what have
the
they done to end the war?
Early dawn to say Hamas offered all the hostages in agreement in response to Israel not coming into Gaza. I mean, there's just to defend Israel's actions.
That didn't happen
either.
That's
being inevitable.
What I'm getting to is Hamas, I think they knew that this was the reaction that would happen.
By this logic, there is nothing Israel could do that can't be blamed on Hamas, which is a genocidal logic because they're committing genocide and doing exactly what he is doing here, blaming Hamas. This is...
No, I think that he's definitely being a bit too forthright in what is just an opinion. He's kind of stating it a little too much, but I think that realistically, it's
there's just to defend Israel's actions.
That didn't happen either.
Being inevitable.
What I'm getting to is Hamas. I think they knew that this was the reaction that would happen.
By this,
and I feel like he might be putting a little too much into saying that they did it knowing that this would be the only response. But I think that it's true that they would have done it knowing that Israel is going to respond and that response is going to be probably, 100 times worse than, what they've done, things they've done in terms of, total death.
This logic, there is nothing Israel could do that can't be blamed on Hamas, which is a genocidal logic because they're committing genocide and doing exactly what he is doing here.
Again, it's not necessarily pointing to to justify. It's more just the, it's just factual at that point. It's their inevitability. I don't think in any way is about justification.
Here, blaming Hamas. This is the logic employed by the IDF and the Israeli state and its propagandists, and this sort of thing is what makes Ethan one of them. In this debate, Ethan also repeatedly conflates anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, which Sam Cedar deconstructs pretty effectively, in my opinion.
This will never happen, but in a totally just world, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi, and you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Now, to me, that seems like extremely dangerous, dehumanizing.
They are watering down the word genocide, and that's one thing that's bothered me is even Sam Cedar said it when he was talking to Ethan, is it's a legal term. You can say that the conditions are, they're in genocidal conditions or whatever, but it's adding on all of these different things, trying to be it's like apartheid, it's like Nazi Germany, it's like this. Why do you need to make the comparisons to talk about how bad it is? Just it's going to be its own, it's going to be wholly different when talked about in the history books. It's going to be its own independent thing that will be studied. And this conflation that they're all basically the same thing, and it's an easy way to look at who's right and who's wrong. It's a complete watering down of the terms and the history. And I'm not here's the thing, I'm into history, I like history, but I'm not the biggest history buff. I don't know all the details. But I can tell when somebody's trying to ignore just the nuance of history. That all of the things are different because not just because of how they happen, but because of the times they take place in, the areas they take place in. Like they're all independent. But it doesn't negate from the depravity of any singular one.
Language about what could arguably be 70% of the Jewish diaspora, and certainly probably people you know in your family.
You go in and you're making this about anti-Semitism by doing this hopscotch about a poll that people had positive feelings that Jewish people do, and then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation, I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous. I have had a guy who went to my bar mitzvah, my sister's bar mitzvah, my kid's bar mitzvah, sat at Passover with me 3 or 4 times, call my father and ask him if I'm anti-Semitic. That is just an example, an illustration of conflating when he's clearly talking about Zionism.
Or does it not show you that you need to rethink the things that you're doing? Like, you know what I mean? It's just so stupid. It's like, I don't understand how you can go, well, the rest of the world's wrong. Don't you see that all of these people, this guy that's known me since I was a little kid, he's even lost. He's lost in the weeds. Like, what are you talking about? This dude's probably reading the fucking newspaper still.
Is it hyperbole to say any time in life, whatever? The fact of the matter is this conflation is dangerous for Jews. It is a fig leaf and a way of weaponizing anti-Semitism that has enabled Donald Trump to do the shit he's doing, that has enabled the slaughter of thousands upon thousands of children and women and men, for that matter. It is not keeping Israelis safe. And this type of conflation, Ethan, is what I find far more irresponsible, frankly, than the idea that he said positive any time.
Not only is this another textbook defense used by the genocidal state of Israel, but what he's saying here is also anti-Semitic. He's using this poll to speak for all Jews.
Now, to me, that seems like extremely dangerous, dehumanizing language about what could arguably be 70% of the Jewish diaspora.
Lots of Jewish people think this thing, therefore criticizing that thing is anti-Semitic. Hey, man.
Yes. Like, what? What? If the group that you are saying something about says that they feel a type of way about the thing that you're saying, we usually go, okay, yeah, we probably shouldn't say that anymore. That's why we don't say slurs. He's basically saying the only reason slurs are bad is because everybody else agreed that they were bad.
No, it's not. The criticism is not about their Jewishness, it's about Israel. The only one here making it about their Jewishness is you. In this same conversation, Ethan blamed Palestinians for Israel's mass killing of peaceful Palestinian protesters with sniper fire during the Great March of Return in 2018.
They were marching in the Great March of Return week after week after week.
Sam, was there Hamas activity at the Great March?
Sinwar was marching. Sinwar was marching with them.
Were people attacking the border wall?
During the Great March of Return, the first dozens of these things before the snipers? No, they weren't. So there were the people for peace.
There was Hamas activity. They were attacking the fence. They were like trying to cross the border.
They were
but not militants. Militants were trying to cross the border.
We know where he got this talking point from, his friend Destiny, and we've seen him.
Destiny invented these things. Before Destiny, this isn't a point. This is just Destiny saying words. That's all he did. He's just quoting Destiny. What the fuck are you talking about?
We used that before a bunch of times.
Overwhelmingly peaceful. Just as a quick thing, because people love to talk about the Great March of Return, the peaceful March of Return. All of this is like the peaceful Great March of Return. Remember this, okay? This is all the peaceful Great March of Return.
And we've gone over this before, but
why don't you talk about the historical relevance? Why don't you talk about if it's actually true or not? And don't just go, he got this point from Destiny. What the fuck?
Human rights reports were very clear on what happened in 2018. Thousands of people were shot by IDF snipers, hundreds of them killed while standing hundreds of meters from the fence. It's actually pretty insane that this talking point is still being used. Like, it's disgusting. Men, women, children, medics, aid workers, and disabled people were shot and killed. If your retort to this fact is, well, there was separate instances of violence at the border.
They were attacking the fence. They were like trying to cross the border.
Whether you want to admit it or not, you are doing genocide propaganda. You are offering a moral justification for this.
No, it's not a moral justification. It's about being historically accurate, you fucking idiot. Another great little screenshot. He's blinking one eye at a time like a real genius. But legit, like, it's about the historical accuracy. It's not about saying if it's a justification or not. Like, how can you be so dense?
Violence. There are plenty more instances of this sort of thing in Ethan's debate with Hassan, which I could go over, but I feel like you get the point by now. If Ethan is really going to go through with his I don't support genocide lawsuit, he should probably stop using talking points that support genocide. These guys know that what they're doing here is wrong. In his announcement tweet a couple months back, Mutahar said, "I never want to financially harm or bring a lawsuit to a creator, but slander like this is far too extreme and unchecked. So at this time, we are exploring legal actions, blah, 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 blah. I never want to do this thing that I know is wrong and predatory, but I'm legal actions, blah, 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 blah."
He never said it was predatory. I never want to financially harm or bring a lawsuit to a creator. And then makes a very justifiable statement. But the slander like this is far too extreme and unchecked, which is at this time, or I guess it's supposed to be, which is why at this time we are exploring legal action against Noah for defamation and slander. But apparently this part isn't relevant at all because he's not saying that it's a terrible thing to do. What he's saying is he would never have wanted to do it until somebody went this far.
I never want to do this thing that I know is wrong and predatory, but I'm going to do it anyway because I have no principles and you hurt my feelings. Defamation is not saying extreme things. That's not what defamation is, and it shouldn't take thousands of dollars and months, potentially years of our time to get these guys to understand that. It might, though, because they're rich, which is amazing. It's a beautiful system that we have, but I hope it doesn't. And then recall what Ethan said 8 years ago when he spoke about his experience of being sued by a more wealthy YouTuber.
It's unbelievable. It's criminal. The American justice system is just, it's how can you defend yourself? Like, you guys gave us $150,000 to fight this lawsuit. It's not enough. It's not even enough. And I'm just wondering, if we didn't have the backing and support of all you guys and the means to even throw $50,000 of our own money to defend this case, how would we ever stand up to this? It's like those with money in the legal system have the ability to destroy and bully and just defeat people on the grounds of I have more money. And you never would have a chance of defending yourself. It's obscene. It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
Ethan now constantly threatens lawsuits over creators he doesn't like and creators that say things that are mean about him.
When I'm done with Noah, when I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George, like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You're full of shit, bro. You're not going to do shit. And I'll tell you who's going to.
By the grace of Pope Fat Love, they will be early. Let's see, do we have a thumbnail yet? Still no thumbnail. We've got 12 minutes, though. Fingers crossed.
Shit. Me. I'm coming, okay? So you're not safe either. Just wait. Keep talking that shit.
He has become the villain, and if he goes through with this and somehow manages to succeed, he retains Alan Dershowitz, we get Richard Goldstone on the bench in a Zionist kangaroo court, that would set a pretty bad precedent, I think. If you disagree with someone's opinions about you, you should respond to it yourself, like an adult in the court of public opinion, not pay a lawyer thousands of dollars to respond for you in a pre-written email.
You should respond to opinions made about you in the court of public opinion, in the marketplace of ideas. But when the claims go as when they reach the level of defamation, you are completely within your right. I don't understand what this point is. Is he just saying that it's bad? He's like, it's wrong. You know what? It's wrong that you did this to me. I don't like it very much, and you're a bad person for it.
Video essay, it's pretty clear that he's done most of this stuff to make money and for content, which is kind of funny because defamation's supposed to be the other way around. Like, he's made tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars off of my alleged defamation. I don't know how that factors into proving damages, making a bunch of money, more money than you would have made without it. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out, maybe. I would close with some point about right-wing free speech hypocrisy, because a lot of these people supported this lawsuit despite claiming to want free speech.
I do think people that make up bullshit like this probably do need to have a degree of accountability, especially if they're saying and making claims.
Freedom of speech doesn't cover defamation. You're dumb. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that offensively or to demean, but I think that you may need to go speak to somebody about your cognitive abilities. I'm just saying.
Like that you're a supporter of a genocide. I think this is a very extreme claim to make. It's not like you just say this out of the blue, right? And because of that, I do think that there should be some degree of accountability for it.
But it's not even worth it. This is the most predictable thing that has ever happened on Earth. The Zionist and right-wing lip service about free speech is not an actual principle. Of course it's not. It's a tool. Sometimes that tool is a shield to defend their right to be racist loudly online.
Oh shit, is he reading a script? The real question is, does he have it written on paper right here? But he looked off to the side. I just realized, is he reading a script?
Sometimes that tool is a shield to defend their right to be racist loudly online.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people.
And sometimes it's a sword to attack people who criticize them for doing that.
It's not a...
Again, I love that these people, like, people like Noah love to be like, look at these things these people said. Look at these things these people said, and not the moments when they walked it back. I don't even remember what Asman said. Maybe he said a very bad, like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it. I meant it, but I shouldn't have said it. But, like, at least add that context in. This is the reason you're getting sued.
Threat. I'm going to sue you.
None of these people actually care about any of these issues. Their support for a cause is entirely dictated by whether or not they like the people that are supporting that cause, whether or not they have some sort of content creator based.
Like, I understand you should have scripts for your videos. Like, I'm working on a video right now that I'm writing a script for. But for a video like this, I don't know. I feel like you didn't need a script for this.
Relationship, but that also means we, myself included, need to stop treating it as if it's anything other than that, with the exception being using these morons to educate people. I think that's good. I think people should keep doing that. All right, so anyways, that's...
Maybe he's not reading a script. Maybe he's just really meek. He just keeps looking off to the side. You can't look us in the eyes.
All I have to say about the lawsuit stuff, Ethan and Mutahar, if you are not suing me, that's great. I would prefer that, so I don't have to fundraise for legal fees during a genocide. If you are actually...
Okay, him saying... That actually kind of pissed me off, because you just made it sound like you're actively in the fucking genocide, you piece of shit. There's how much money being funneled around the world. Your fucking lawsuit is not going to have any fucking impact on the genocide, even any minute like impact on it. Like the most minuscule like impact is not going to be made if you go through with a lawsuit. Like, bro, trying to hide behind the actual terrible shit that's going on around the world and use that as your shield to like, bro, what the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. He is so ooh-woo, I swear.
Actually going to sue me though, please just let me know. I'll fundraise again. You will probably lose the anti-slap motion and have to pay my legal fees, and will just be wasting a bunch of time and money, which in the grand scheme of things is not that big of a deal. I'll be fine, but that will be annoying. So let me know, please. Viewers, if you can, donate to the Gaza Aid fundraiser. I think we can raise a lot of money. I'll be going live starting Saturday, May 17th.
Go check out AB's live instead. AB is going live May 17th. He's not competing. He actually isn't competing, so I'm not going to frame it like that because I know that he was like, I don't want it to be some like competitive thing. But AB is actually going live if anyone wants to watch that tomorrow. He is going to be doing a charity stream as well. But I did want to pull this up because I did think this was funny. I was going to pull it up after the last video, but I forgot. So this was from my one of my last previous streams. This was reacting to Hassan reacting to the content nuke. But Hassan fans really do just look up Hassan's name and click on any video regardless of like, this is clearly in favor of Ethan. If you want to have like see the criticism, that's fine. But this was the part that actually kind of got me. This person came and said, yeah, these are the dudes that are supporting Ethan. I'm on the right side of history for sure. Look in the mirror, bro, and figure it the fuck out. He doesn't even wear the jacket. Like, okay, absolute incel losers. And I just said, LMAO, is me making fun of him taking off the jacket the worst take I had? If so, then I think I did pretty all right. Which I think is true. If all you can criticize me on is my bad jokes, I fucking won. I'm way ahead. And then they didn't have an example, but just decided to respond going, no, it's just sad to be honest. You don't have to lick Ethan's boots, my dude. Not even a huge Hassan fan, but Ethan is doing everything he used to make fun of. It's just sad. So this, not a big Hassan fan, decided to come back and comment on somebody else's comment too. This was like hours later. So I responded to this because I love responding to my commenters. Make sure you drop a comment down below whenever. I love replying. But this person said, Hassan loves deflecting and making less than 0 points. And I just said, I'm sorry, but we are all just under a shared psychosis. Hassan doesn't deflect. He just answers other questions you didn't even think to ask. And they decided to respond to this for some reason, just said, no way you watched that debate or him watching the content nuke and came out with that. Ethan conceded every single argument and just resorted to calling it boring and unwatchable. Shit is so sad. You guys go into these videos with no open mind and it's so obvious. I love that they pointed out that Ethan conceded points, even though Hassan did not concede a singular point. Like, come on. No, yeah, I was going to point out the whole I'm on the right side of history thing as like, you cannot know if you're on the right side of history. Only the people in the future will know what side you're on. So I did find that kind of interesting. But I did have to point out, LMAO, you really aren't a big Hassan fan, huh? You've just come back to my insignificant channel to reply multiple times. Go watch some content you'll actually enjoy, instead of cycling content you already disliked. I'm replying to comment because it's me engaging with my audience. You replying hours and hours after the fact is extremely pathetic. If my arguments and perspectives are that vapid and hollow, then you don't even need to respond here, or then you don't even need to be here, because people will watch what I said and easily disagree. And then they somehow completely misinterpreted what I said and just went, so I should just stay in my comfy little echo chamber. I like that they think of their echo chamber as comfy. That's nice. And not try and hear dissenting opinions or points of view. Got it. That makes so much more sense, to be honest, and explains a lot. You posted a video. If you don't want people to disagree with you, or rather comment that they disagree with you, then don't post a video. Otherwise, be ready to accept that. That's all. Good luck, mate. How much you want to bet that they're an American saying mate? When did I say not to comment or watch videos with dissenting opinions? If I didn't want you to comment on the channel, I could easily just hide your responses. I suggested you stop cycling through content you've already decided an opinion on. Good job missing the point. That explains a lot. And I just think it's true that these people don't just go on to videos they know they're going to hate. They go back to videos they've already disliked. It's amazing. That man may be smoking too much. No, and they're all bot comments. Like, I don't get it. No, I really doubt they even watched it all. This person just said, brother, I've never seen a 4-hour video that should have been left in the drafts. And I just said, thanks for watching. Because, we like to signal to the support. If someone wants to hate watch and watches the full thing, I love it. But then if they want to admit that they actually didn't watch the full thing, then it just makes them look like more of an idiot. So either way, we win. We on top. We got a thumbnail finally. About the book. Dolores, My Journey Home, Part 1. About the book. She had the perfect life until she chose a braver one. Catherine Paez grew up far from the spotlight in the vibrant, multicultural city of Montreal, Canada. Where her life began, I imagine. When her path led her to Los Angeles, that's where she met the evil Austin McBroom. For real. I didn't even know she was Canadian. I'm so glad we're going back to some drama, I have to say. It's my favorite thing. Because I can still talk about drama. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh no. I want to talk about Israel versus Gaza. Let's talk about India versus Pakistan now. I can do all that on, I can do that on my own time. This is about having some fun. This is about disconnecting from the world and having a fun little chat with our friends. I did want to scroll the Reddit now, since we got a little bit of time. Oh, what am I doing? God damn it. Great stuff. Oh, there we go. I'm not even going to look at the newest ones because, my God, if there was a bombing, that's terrible. I honestly think that people need to stop talking about Hassan in here, though. I'm going to keep saying that because this isn't a Hassan snark. Hassan got his snark taken down, so let's let less people talk about him. You know what I mean? Everybody should just stop talking about Hassan and let him fizzle out like he's meant to. I hope they... No, yeah, she dated Michael B. Jordan and fumbled that for Austin McBroom. A real step down. No, yeah. That's how I feel too. Is the goss talk isn't my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. But it's much better than the politics. I'm in it for the goofs and the gaffes, but I can get that throughout. You know what I mean? We're always gonna get the goofs and the gaffes. But yeah, so Lonerbox is calling out Hassan, which is good. And that's the thing, is like certain things like this, okay, if you want to post something, but I don't want every little thing that Hassan is saying, every little thing that Hassan is doing. If you want to be like, oh, a friend of the show Lonerbox wants to debate Hassan. Cool. That's interesting. Denims retraction. So I guess we did see this already, but I wanted to read this part again. Proceeding with a defamation suit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. His suit with Kavanaugh almost started 4 years ago and is still ongoing. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish and feel like I've let down those who have donated. This is the part that honestly made me feel so weird about it, because it's like, did you not understand that that was not the undertaking that you were signing up for when you first put this out? Or was it literally just like you clout sharking? You were circling the waters going, where can I nibble next? Oh, if they don't talk about Ash Trevino, what's the point of the podcast? If they don't talk about Ash Trevino, I will. I feel like the end of her story is coming soon. So. Did you guys hear about Tofiachu? What happened with Tofiachu? That shit was crazy. And the podcast will never know. So sad. That's why we need to get back to goofs and gaffes. That isn't even goofs and gaffes, though. The Tofiachu stuff is so sad. For those who don't know, Tofiachu was a lol cow on TikTok who recently, her brother got murdered and killed in front of her, and her car got carjacked while her mother and dead brother were inside of the car. And then the dude crashed the car and like fled on foot. It's insane, an insane story. But yeah, I'll fight Dan. I'll fight Zach. Come on, Zach, let's do it. Let's put on a show. We'll save Creator Clash. The big boys coming at you. Yeah. Ash Trevino probably is in the Lena pit? No, in the eel pit. Sorry, my words are just all coming out. The H3 is just spilling out of my mouth at this point. No, yeah, the Tofiachu stuff was insane. No, yeah, I hope we can get to Ash Trevino at some point. It's necessary. I am thinking of all the different stuff I'm going to talk about once they go on break because I'm going to be filling in. I'm going to be doing the H3 podcast. But I'm really just going to be doing my own streams in probably just a little bit longer than I do now, maybe like 3 or 4 hours or something as we get into that time. But oh, this looks pretty good. But we'll probably cover Ash Trevino in that time. Yeah, Alex and you were fighting first H3 last week. I hope to see that. That will definitely save Creator Clash. Brie Olsen drama. I haven't... See, I'm out of the loop on so much. Is this an OG Dan photo? What is this from? It was confirmed. Dan worked on Bratz. He worked on one of the animated Bratz movies. Truly an icon. The mastermind behind both Mega Man and Bratz. The truth. That's honestly a really nice photo of him. Look at the little goatee. Very 90s of him. And we're late. We're late by 5 minutes already. Have we gotten any chats from the crew? H2 Podcast. They sent Ninja. Star Wars has been in Fortnite. Fortnite? Oh, I don't know if I pointed this out. I don't know how well the emojis come up, but I did make a few custom emojis for the members in chat. So if you ever want to use those are there too. I have a few more that I need to add in, I think, but there are a few in there. The Do We Know Them podcast is a good drama source. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna definitely just be looking into as much as possible. I'm working on me and Ethan are both working on our own long form videos right now. But once I'm done with that, I'm definitely going to be putting all my effort into just some other videos too. But some good streaming content, some stuff to talk about. Jim Henson like Muppets Jim Henson? Jim Henson. Or you said Jim Hansen. Is that somebody else? I think you meant Jim Henson. Honestly? Oh my god. One sec. Come on. There we go. Honestly? That's kind of crazy. You know who he looks more like, though? This is like literally a 1-to-1. Oh my god. Wait for this. Wait for this. Oh my god. The trifecta. Ari Shafir looks like Jim Henson, who looks like Dan. Am I right? This picture is real. You thought of Dan as blonde? What about his beard? The beard didn't give it away? Come on. I will say, Dan pulls off the bald look very well. It does feel weird looking at him with hair. Young Tim Allen. Young Tim Allen. We're just going to keep looking up pictures of people that look like young Dan. That is also true. Specifically this photo. Like childhood Tim Allen. Like he looks like childhood Tim Allen. Like almost the exact same angle and everything. Yeah, Dan is a hot baldy. Them's the facts. Need to go renew my membership to watch the members only episode. I honestly really do enjoy the crew only members episodes. There's something about it. They know how to fill in. This doesn't look like Dan. This looks like Mr. Clean. You saw Dan in a piece of toast once? He looks younger with hair. Well, to be fair, this is also him younger, so that could also be it. See, like, again, this is a decent clip to play because this is relevant to the H3 podcast.
Ethan loves talking about
We're doing a little...
He won't even let...
We're doing a little Reddit analysis right now, showing what are good Reddit posts and what are bad Reddit posts.
Ethan loves talking about tokens. He won't even let his fucking Lebanese employees say shit. Fucking Lebanese employees. Fucking Lebanese. Ethan loves talking about tokens. He won't even let his Lebanese employees say shit. Ethan loves...
I love that the cut's so quick, you can tell that they cut out a word. Because they, oh my God, they really realized it was so bad that they cut it out. Just leave it in. You're not even his official channel. Come on. Because I don't even think it's bad, but it's like, what's wrong with you guys? Come on.
His Lebanese.
Like, it's so quick that you can tell that it was just a cut, like an immediate cut.
Gollum a tutu and 3 different collars. First up, we got this one, which...
What I imagine when Olivia says she wants to take care of Gollum. This is basically it. Why does she look like Gollum's mom?
Gollum a tutu and 3 different collars. First up, we got this one, which I like the best. It goes with his veins. It goes with his eyes. I also really like this one. I think when he's wearing his pink wig, it looks the best. But I still have to style it. Lastly, I got this simple little one, but you can't really see it. So I think I'm going to go with this one because it's my favorite. Now I'm going to cut his little... thing off. I feel bad, but I'm putting a tutu on him. He's gonna be a little naked first. It's not what you expect.
This is just her dolling up her Gollum. Oh my God, she goes all out.
Maybe this bikini top. That is so darling. Like
beautiful. Ah. Good job, Nate. Baby with a rollie. Honestly, a vibe. So true. What are we at now? 12:11. We're now over. We're over 10 minutes. We could still be under 20. Let's see. Here's a real question. Do we think that Ethan is going to start coming specifically in suits? Or is it going to be like, is he only going to do it for the specific episodes? Because honestly, I might like the suit look. I don't think I'm going to start wearing a suit. It gets too hot where I'm at. What? For him? He can pay those AC bills. Okay. I have to say, I have to not read the Hassan stuff. I just like Lonerbox, so that's why I find his responses kind of funny. Hassan mauls at Ethan bringing on Lonerbox for the conversation. Also tries to rope in another H3 cast member, AB, into an awkward position. He won't even let his Lebanese employees say shit. He has to get a Lebanese dick rider who's desperate for a crumb of clout. Of course, this spoiled, rotten frat moron has to baselessly accuse me of doing a paid Hasbara tour. Guy couldn't even defend his position against a fucking comedy podcaster, so he goes back to what he does best, smears and slop. Very true. Gollum does, yeah. It does make Gollum look more like a hairless cat, you're right. But, and then Lonerbox said this. We visited, okay, so this was day 12, clip 4, visiting burned down fruit market. We visited a fruit and vegetable market in the West Bank. Apparently, IDF soldiers raided the area a few days prior. During an altercation, a fire started and something else. Throwback to when my Hasbara tour guide showed us where IDF soldiers and Frank with guns torched half of the Ramallah fruit market because 2 guys were accused of laundering money to Hamas. Made me think they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, wait. And yeah, I honestly haven't seen a lot of his stuff in Israel when he did his tour in Israel. So I might go check out some of those clips, honestly. And you all should too. Ooh, a Teddy Fresh suit, just a custom 1 of 1. That would go hard. Ah, suit with shorts. So that could be nice. That's a nice look. Can't lie. It's just how many layers do we do? And like, can I make the layers thin? Bro started from the beginning. When does this Hassan guy show up? He got a ways. Yeah, and then AB and Lena, 24-hour stream to raise money for Palestine Children Relief Fund. Yeah, I saw this earlier. Lena and I are hosting a 24-hour live stream on Saturday, May 17th to raise money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, PCRF, an organization that provides urgent medical aid, food, and essential supplies to children in Gaza and throughout Palestine. We hope to see you all there. Much love. Fundraising for Palestine. Great stuff. Go support him instead of Noah. Don't support Noah's fun. I'm just kidding. Support whatever you feel like supporting. But this one is going to be live tomorrow as well. Just a reminder. If Noah wants to raise money, that's great. But he should really be thinking about his own pockets soon. You know, he at least he will be here soon enough. I hope Ethan's new video highlights how during the debate, he and Hassan agreed about everything except rape apologia and supporting terrorism. I think this will be an interesting layer within the new video that he's doing. The fact that Ethan has so much more like stuff to talk about now, but I'm wondering how he's going to utilize the things he has to talk about. Because it would be easy to just go, here's a bunch of clips, here's all the things that he said. But it's about the way that he frames it to make sure that everybody like understands what Hassan is actually trying to present. Because that's the thing, is he hides behind all of the agreements to try and promote these like extremist values. And I think Ethan is going to be able to articulate that well as long as he takes the day off like he needed and really puts the time down. But yeah, give my boy his flowers. The Rizzler, in the trench, coat, because he's been in the trenches. He's modeling now. If you don't know the Rizzler, you can't call yourself chronically online. I don't even know what ICL means. Streetwear brand Yori Sport just got bro in their new campaign, and it's kinda hard. Haha. Give the Rizzler his flowers, for real. They got him in bubble wrap. Where are they shipping him off to?
Meanwhile, court jester AB is okay with King Defamer Ethan literally harassing his mom, though. He made comments about her body and... Meanwhile, court jester AB is okay.
Here, I didn't, we kind of skimmed around AB's response, so we'll watch this real quick. Yeah, I would honestly... I don't know what I would do for a Hassan Loner Box debate, but Hassan knows where it would end up, so yeah, he wouldn't do it. There's no way. Everybody just needs to keep talking about it like that, though, because that's the thing that's going to make Hassan do it, is everybody just going, Hassan's too much of a pussy. He's not going to fucking debate Loner Box. He's a coward. Hey, pride cometh before the fall, and Hassan has way too much pride. So... that fall is going to be mighty.
Meanwhile, court jester AB's okay with King Defamer Ethan literally harassing his mom, though. He made comments about her body and he was okay with it. Ew, really?
I love court jester, guys.
Yeah, he did. Thank you. Sounds fine to me. Sounds good. Okay. I'm gonna blow your guys' mind with this. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for this? Because this is the new narrative that I was mad at Millhouse for saying fuck my mom while my boss sexually harassed my mom on air. Are you guys ready for this? This might blow your minds. Take cover. Take cover, all right? I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta get into stupid fucking position when I gotta make a stupid fucking point. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for this? You guys ready? Oh my god. This is gonna blow. The internet's gonna fucking blow up. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
It was a bit. It was my mom's idea. Oh, 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 shit. Oh, why did you on a comedy show? Oh my god. I said I would never review any secrets of the show. I may get fired now. Oh my god.
Gollum, that's what I was gonna say. Why did you just curl up and...
Oh, it was a bit for my mom to call in. You know why? Because my mom's from the streets. My family's from the streets. We're not pussies. We know how to joke around. We know how to be entertaining. You know that? Because we're not chronically online like you fucking weirdos. You fucking idiots. Like, you guys are so stupid.
AB has had this caged animal inside him, and he's finally let it off the leash. It's pretty amazing. I'm proud of our boy.
You're so stupid if you believe that. There's no yeah, I'm spinning. I'm crashing out. Help! I'm crashing. What time is it? What time is it? I don't want the neighbors to call the police. I should be in the back seat, my own back seat.
Person, I'm saying that you're a disappointment. You can say whatever you want to, say however you want it, but to do it in a way in which you side with the white person, I mean, you're getting too high up the snub.
Yo, can we just go home, dude? Millhouse could never with this production value. Oh, thank you. Actually, I just want to be part of the team, dog. That's it. I just want to be part of the team, man. I just want to be the fourth Brady. That's all. Here's a story of a guy named AB who spent $100K to look less Arab. And dun, 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 dun. All right, as you were.
So that's what you have in common with those people, AB. That's what you have in common.
AB is really funny. Got to give him credit where credit's due.
If a crash out could be a person, it would be Ethan Decline. That's kind of what I've got.
Now I'm standing up because I'm stand-up pissed. And I'm about to go to work. Check the fit. Check the fit. Check the fit. Ethan Klein, I'm not that chronically online. I'm a fan of his. What he's doing is strictly talking about this spread of anti-Semitism on the left, where people on the fucking left, like me, a Jewish person who's feeling like I'm getting pushed out of these communities because you motherfuckers have decided what is anti-Semitic and what is not. It's not up to Jews anymore to decide what's anti-Semitic and what's not. It's you motherfuckers. You white privileged fucking assholes. I have white privilege. Like I said in the last video, I move through the world as a white man. I am not oppressed. I don't know oppression, but I do know hatred. Every Jew knows hatred, and we know how fucking dangerous it is.
And if anything, I mean, here's like something to think about too, is like, have you never heard like stories of someone who's more white passing or something, hearing somebody say some stuff that's a little off color because they didn't realize that person was black or Mexican or Asian or whatever? You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, I just didn't know. And it's like, well, you were saying that then you were saying that in private, which almost makes it worse. So like, yeah, the fact that people like act like just because a lot of Jewish people are white people means that they haven't experienced anything or haven't seen any of the hatred that's presented to their group is so weird.
And it's getting to a fucking critical mass. Yes, it's getting to a fucking critical mass. It's fucking scary. We have every right to be scared right now because I can't open my fucking phone without seeing insane Nazi shit And yeah, you're aware of that and you don't give a shit about it, which is, it's not fine. It's not fine. Give a shit about it. If you care about oppression and it's fucking nuts, dude. It's so exhausting. And it's been fucking exhausting. It's been so fucking exhausting. I don't know what this person's name is, but they need to cut the fucking shit. These fucking Goyim, Gentile, Anglo-Saxon, stupid motherfuckers. It is free Palestine all the way. Always. That's where my heart is. But why do you have to, like, have a fun time?
I feel like he kind of looks like we just keep doing this for everybody. I feel like he kind of looks like Jeremy Allen White a little bit. Might just be me. I think it's just the nose.
You're like allowing yourself to have a little fun with racism in the, like, on the ride because it's excused right now by everybody that agrees with you. It's like, ooh, yes, I'm fighting for this good thing. And I get to dabble in what it's like to be a right-wing fuckhead right now, too. I get to be a little racist, and it's kind of fun. Like, what the I don't know how else to explain it. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Golem tutu and
Might be a little caught up. Oh no. Now let's go to the top of today. Top of all time, yeah. Top of today. I guess we can look at the new now. See if there's any snarkers posting. I think I need this. So sick. I don't understand how R. Kelly got famous. That song sucks. Am I wrong? Oh. Sorry. Crazy to look at how much has changed in the last 2 years. I was watching the Off the Rails episode from 2 years ago, and where they were covering the Try Guys drama, and I realized how Ethan Ela feels so much more like an airbrushed two-headed mythical creature and close. It feels like the podcast is in the room with me, LMAO. Maybe I'm just seeing things. LOL. But also the lighting, the quality, the airbrushing quality, the mustache, the two-headed plastic thing. Everything is so crazy to compare. Anyways, let me know if you think if you feel like Ethan Ela feels farther from the real world, so I don't feel like I'm insane. What do you mean? This is exactly the same to me. I don't know what happened. See, the song is hilarious. The video's classic. But, like, in terms of listening, if someone turned that on in the car, I'd be like, turn that shit off now. I don't know what this says. Someone in chat translate, please.
To James Charles, they could say that because of the sarcastic emojis and stuff, he didn't understand the severity of it.
Wait, I thought he...
Olivia needs to decorate. It has been long enough. Bobby needs a rightful spot. He can't just be thrown up here like that.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. Yes.
A lot of people confused on what this meant. So I was like, okay. I will elaborate. I will elaborate a little bit more. I saw a lot of people being like, well, I don't understand. Why would you start this journey and then say you're not going to do it? Why are you saying if? I'm saying if because the 10 days haven't run out yet. He can still retract his statements. The correct term to use there is if. Because if he retracts his statements, which he still has, two or 3 days, I can't sue him because he's retracted the defamatory claims. So the if has to be there. Like, that's just how that works. I don't understand. Girl, he is not going to, sure, but you can't say, I am going to do this, and then he retracts.
Why not just wait the 3 days then before doing it? Like, I just doing it so preemptively you showed your hand. Like, you come on. Need to try a little bit harder than this. Is my stream lagging? That might have been what was lagging, not gonna lie. Did it start? Have we started? My YouTube's like glitching out. Are we live? Am I just tripping? Or were you guys saying bye to somebody else? She's acting like she knows the law despite starting a lawsuit she's gonna lose. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone expects her to know the law. So that's why she feels comfortable saying as much as she has. Oh, is she lagging mentally? I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. I'm lagging mentally as well, apparently.
Can you do a poll? Wow, 94% no. I would expect there. This is like 94% no.
You need to make the biblically accurate Dan your phone background. It is a very strong image, and you could crop it without losing too much. Still got him down here. Beautiful. Next movie review, Pirates of the Caribbean. Do you guys say Caribbean or Caribbean? Just type out the word Caribbean over and over again, and I'll decipher it from there. But how do you guys say it? Because as a kid, I always said Caribbean because I swear that's how they say it in the advertisements. But I know it's the Caribbean Sea. There was an Instagram post. Let's see. Instagram. Oh well, this is new to me too. So we'll watch this.
Any evidence of that on the internet, but it seems like he's very comfortable speaking for what's offensive to Jews and what
That's
isn't.
why it seems like he's joking.
It does
so
seem like
weird.
he's, like, joking.
You guys are so right. Let's let Hassan Piker decide what is and what isn't anti-Semitic. Absolute clowns. I'm sorry. Sam, Hamas did some good things. Cedar. Very true. Yeah, see, that's how I pronounce it. Thanks, guys. You only say it in Spanish. Fair enough. Caribbean amphibian. Kind of similar, I guess. The H3 podcast is now going live. Why does it lie? Refresh the page. Come on, guys. It's 33 past. We've been waiting for a while now. Dan, give me weed. Everybody pack your bowls. It's almost time.
No man can kill me. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck your mom.
That was your comment on IG? Well, hey. You got a little shout out right there. The tea is hot. Why should I come? They say something else? New James meme just dropped? Okay. Roe is getting out of control. Well, smoke twice as fat once you get back. Once you have the time, once you have the option. You're still working. Once all of you get the option to smoke, do it. Light up, take an extra long puff for my birthday whenever you get the chance. I gotta be honest, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Now this waiting room is really just a waiting room. We're just sitting here now.
Who? Twitter's a rat hole in the final analysis, and I have probably contributed to that while trying to use, understand, and master that horrible, toxic platform.
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are.
Twitter's a rat hole.
It's horrible.
Twitter's
horrible.
a rat hole.
This is not what podcasts are. It's horrible.
Very similar. This looks like Tom mixed with somebody else. I'm trying to think. It just says Tom. My contractor got in the cabinet he just built to prove its sturdiness. Well, this looks like Dan mixed with somebody. Or not Dan, Tom mixed with somebody. I guess I'm scared. I'll take a rip on my lunch break just for you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Did we think this guy asked Hamas if they liked One Piece? Do we think this guy asked what? Jeremy Scahill and I talk about interviewing Houthis, Hamas, the importance of learning perspective, his interviews with Hamas officials, and Trump's Middle East tour. The thing is him asking about KFC and asking about if they like One Piece it is a bad example of questions to use when trying to humanize or learn from the other perspective. It's just such they're pointless questions to ask. You can ask things that aren't as political, aren't as you know what I mean, aren't as volatile without asking them something that's just pointless. Oh, we're live. Thanks so much for watching, everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I want to thank all of my members that became members today. I really do appreciate it. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep going to the top. But yes, thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Fuck you, Ethan, for saying I shouldn't say that. And go check out his podcast. You know it. There he is. There is the guy. But thank you so much. This is Captain Quasar signing off.